What's up, guys? Welcome back to episode 98 of Psychotic and Iconic. Paul's here along with my co-hosts Nick Theories, Philly Phil, and Mikey P. We have a special guest tonight, Paul Vitale from...
He fucked up my name!
My bad.
Run
it back.
Come on,
Run it back.
I'm out of here.
My bad. This is
Why I was going to do that.
It's all good. Thank you to everybody that's tuned in to the live stream tonight. Thank you to everybody that likes, follows, and subscribes to all of our platforms. If you haven't done so already, please go ahead and do that for us. Mikey P, start us off and pronounce his name.
Let's try this again, okay?
Hold on, that's fucking crazy, man. Yo, no disrespect.
What?
Oh, that's
we
hilarious.
thank you for coming up on. Yeah. I know.
No.
Vitale.
Cut that up.
Is
That's
that
going on
sour hour?
socials.
Yeah, it's
It's
regular
sour.
to me.
Yeah, it's sour.
Oh my god.
Let's get it rocking, dog.
At least it was close.
I tried.
Yeah, it could have been worse.
Okay, guys. Okay. Hold on. Philly Phil. Check me out real quick.
Pause.
All right. There you go.
People already heard it.
I know. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a proper intro here. Tonight, we have a special guest.
That was shade.
I literally said I was going to cover the intro.
I'm all good. I'm not worried about it.
We have a special guest tonight sitting next to me right here. The one and only Peter Vitale, Sheffield Shuffler. Give it up for Sheffield Shuffler.
My man.
Thanks for having me, guys.
All
Happy
right.
to have you.
Hey, how cool is this setup? Let's be real. You guys did a great job.
Thanks,
Oh,
bro.
thank
I
you.
appreciate it, man.
We're literally in Nick's house, believe it or not. This is an actual studio in Nick's house.
Yeah, it's
Bartle
professional.
Okay. Bartle Studios. And ladies and gentlemen, I just want to tell you a little bit about Peter over here. Okay. This is the director of betting and head of baseball at Playmaker. He is the host of Lost in the Shuffle and the Daily Dingers. And you can check our ticker right on the bottom of the screen. Go and follow him on Instagram at Sheffield Shuffler and on Twitter at Sheffield Shuff. All right. You definitely want to go check out his content. It's absolutely fire. Okay.
And hilarious. So if you like funny shit, follow this man.
Viral material every single time.
Appreciate it.
All right. Peter, want to tell us a little bit about yourself and where your nickname came from?
Yeah, so I'm new to the New Jersey area. I just moved here last summer. It's like about a year ago. Me and my wife, set roots up here, get a house, have a baby, do all that stuff. Born and raised in Chicago, Cubs fan, Bears fan. I've adopted the Philly teams because you guys are so passionate. It's a great sports town. I got the Sheffield Shuffler name because I used to live on the corner of Sheffield and Addison. It was about 60 yards away from Wrigley Field, and I've lived there for about 4 or 5 years. And I get tuned up real good, and I'd be walking home, struggling. And there's my buddy sitting on the porch. I go, there he is, the Sheffield Shuffler, shuffling home. And so I'm like, I wanted to start this brand, and I did that in like 2020. So I'm like, I want to use that name. Like, I love that name. I love what it stands for. And my whole brand is like debauchery and funny shit and sports and kind of incorporate that all together. So that's a little bit of a summation of how that came about.
Are you a Gary Sheffield fan? Just curious, because that was the first thought for me. I was like, Gary Sheffield, man,
Same.
I have his Yankees jersey. No joke.
Yeah, there's I get a lot of that like on Twitter sometimes. They're like, are you Gary Sheffield? I'm like, I don't know if you saw a picture of me, but no, I'm not related to Gary Sheffield. Obvious reasons. And yeah, Gary Sheffield's cool. He's probably got one of the most iconic batting stances
Love it,
in
man.
baseball. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you for joining us today. And ladies and gentlemen, this episode 98 of P&I, is brought to you by Prize Picks, your home for daily fantasy sports. New players who sign up today using our promo code ICONIC receive 100% instant deposit match up to $100. Prize Picks, daily fantasy made easy. Also, right now, we are live at the Props Network at propshq.com. I don't know what's taking you so long. If you haven't subscribed yet, go there, subscribe to our show, keep up with everything going on. You're not going to want to miss our football coverage this season. Last but not least, see this? What is it, guys?
Fantastic fabric. Get yours today. The best fucking fabric in the fucking game. Best fucking podcast in the game. And we're ready to rock and roll tonight, bro. So place your orders today. We got a special show for you tonight. Sheffield Shuffler's in the house, baby. Let's get
I
rock
got
and
one
roll,
too.
bro.
Yeah. He's got his fresh.
Got one.
All right, he's got a black t-shirt. We got black and gray, short sleeve, long sleeve hoodies. We even have tanks for the summer. It's still hot, so go get your tank. And we have customizable mugs. You can get your name on it. They're white with our logo, okay? Courtesy of IPP Pressworks, Cherry Hill, New Jersey. Guys, are you ready to go?
I've been ready.
Okay.
I've been ready all day.
Born.
I got to start with something right in your wheelhouse, Peter.
All right.
The Philadelphia Phillies, with the exception of today, they've won 12 of the last 14 games.
Yes.
Where do you think they're going this year? Where do you think they're going?
Not that far. And they in the NL East. Hey, listen, I
appreciate your honesty.
I think they are over. They're doing more now than they have with Joe Girardi. They had the new manager come in. Everyone's like, well, it wasn't Girardi's fault. Clearly it was. They're playing better. The bullpen were one of the worst in the big leagues at the beginning of the season. One of the worst bullpens. You're like, oh my God, they would come in and blow games. Over the last 2 months, they've turned that around. One of the best bullpens, putting up runs. I think they're averaging almost 9-point-something runs over the last 3 games, aside from today. They're scoring a lot. They're exciting. Yesterday's game when I was there, one of the best games I've seen to watch, full. And I was with my wife. You try to get a lady to watch a full baseball game. Yeah. It's tough. So I'm like, thank you guys for doing so well that game, because it was exciting. They were down, one of the best pitchers, Sandy Alcantara, and then they come back and they're fighting. And Schwarber on the base pass, a run around with his hair on fire, especially for a bigger guy. So I love the fight in Phils. But in a division like the NL East, it's going to be very hard, especially with the Braves, who are incredible, and the Mets, who are incredible. So they're in another division. I think it's a different story, but in the NL East, it's going to be really hard.
I got them locking up a wild card.
Yes. So to combat that, they are also missing Bryce Harper too.
Yeah.
So that's a big piece out of their lineup. So when he comes back, I'm expecting them to be even better.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Especially with the leadership that he shows and the passion he brings to the team, I'm expecting them to take an even bigger leap.
Absolutely. Also, one of the things too is the young players on the team, Derek Hall and Bryson Stott. I really like Bryson Stott as shortstop, especially defensively.
You see that? You saw that play last night?
Yes,
beautiful play.
Defensively, up it. That's a ball up the middle. Has no business being played. It makes a nice throw to first. So very impressive. So even moving forward next season, those guys are coming up and going to make a big.
I really like Derek Hall too.
Yeah,
to be honest, I mean he's
big body.
He could hit. Yeah, he could hit.
Yeah.
So
you gotta wonder what they're gonna do with him when Bryce does come back.
Because
obviously you can't take Castellanos out of the lineup. I mean, Kyle Schwarber's obviously not going anywhere. You got 5 DHs on this team.
Right.
Literally 5 DHs.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, Bryson Stott was my rookie of the year pick. Might have been a little ambitious because Joe Girardi ruined the first half of the year. Well,
if you looked at his,
but he's on fire lately.
If you looked at his spring training, that's not bad to say. He had an incredible spring training, on fire. So I like that.
I just said, you know what? Give him regular playing time. I said this from the get-go with these guys. If you're gonna have Stott and Bohm up there, they have to play every single day.
Yeah.
We know how to butcher prospects in Philly, FYI.
Yeah.
That's our thing.
That's our special.
The only thing about Bohm, I know he's been hitting. His defense is very poor.
It's gotten better though.
It's poor.
It's really
gotten
bad.
a little bit better.
It's really bad though, bro.
Oh, I know. He's a first baseman. He should be a first baseman.
Important. The pressure builds on. It becomes a little bit more dicey. You know what I mean? So
it's a lot of balls.
Right. Yes.
Him and Castellanos is one of the worst judges of a fly ball I've ever seen. I mean, actually watching him take a route to a ball, I never feel like it's a direct route. Although he did make a really nice catch.
He did.
Which I was like, holy shit. You know what I mean?
Doubled him up at first, yeah.
Yeah, when he doubled him up. That's the exact one I'm talking about. But just watching him judge a ball in the outfield is painful. That he's a professional and makes all that money.
Yeah.
So, but as long as we keep hitting like we are, we don't have to worry about that.
Yeah,
they're fun.
I agree.
Entertaining.
Yes.
I agree.
Time will tell. That game yesterday that you just saw, they lose that game every single time the last 10 years.
Agreed.
They won it yesterday. So maybe they're back to being the Fightins.
They almost did it today.
Because good teams find a way to win. No matter how it looks, they find a way to win no matter what. No matter who's on the field, you find a way. That's a good team.
Screaming, Nick.
And the thing too, who got? I think was it Baum? They got picked off at third, or no? They caught it short and they doubled them up at third. It was a real close play. So then the guy at third was out. Then we had a guy on first. Schwarber's on first, and that base hit. And he makes it from first to third. Those kind of plays where you put pressure on the defense and you make them make a play, and kind of hustling. That's the kind of stuff, like you said, it makes a difference.
That's winning baseball.
Yeah,
that's momentum and manufacturing runs by hustling.
Yep.
That's it. That's the recipe to win in October as well.
Absolute truth. Are you guys ready to move on to the NFL?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Philly Phil, change it up. We got some quick hitters first. All right, guys. They're usually not too quick for us, but if we,
We pod. That's what
Yeah,
we do.
exactly
we pod up here.
right.
We have a good time. We fucking talk about
we do our
sports.
thing, man.
Absolutely.
All right. First up, New England Patriot running back and 3-time Super Bowl champion James White announced his retirement today out of nowhere. Okay. 9 years in the NFL, all with the Patriots. He is most remembered for. Do we want to play it right now? Should we play it?
Yeah, let's play that clip, Philly Phil.
Cool.
Go ahead, Phil.
Look at this fucking clip, man. This is memorable shit, bro. Yes.
Yeah, the one that
This
He sent me one, but it wasn't loading, so give me a sec. I'll see if it actually loads.
memorable.
we'll talk
Toss
about
right
until
to
he comes
James
up.
White.
All right.
And he's in. Brady has his 5th. The Patriots win the Super Bowl. That's fucking iconic, bro. 28-3. The impact that he had on that game is going to be remembered forever in my head. Like that memory is just always going to stay with me because that was one of the best performances I've seen.
I remember him as a fantasy monster.
I mean,
I
PPR.
feel like it was
PPR.
PPR. He was a monster.
Yeah.
And he was so underrated. He was like the guy that never got drafted, and then somebody picked him up in week 3 and plugged him in their flex, and you never heard from him again. He just got you steady 12 points a week.
Mhm.
That's not loading, so I
Don't worry about the clip.
Yeah, don't
Fuck the
worry
clip.
about it. We already gave him
I've
proper
already
love
mentioned the
here,
clip.
man.
Toss right to James, baby.
Yeah.
He's in. He's in. Tom Brady gets his 5th. Patriots win the Super Bowl. That's exactly how
I
it
could
went.
see
That
him
was
jumping
A
on the sideline.
Super Bowl
great.
winning touchdown
Yeah.
in overtime.
He had a couple touchdowns in that game, though, and he had like 10 catches. He could have been arguably the MVP, but they always give it to the quarterback.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
That's
They
what-
always do, especially coming back from 28-3. You're always going to give it to the quarterback.
Yeah.
So it's a shame, but he definitely deserved it.
You better believe it.
Yeah.
You good?
Yeah. Go make some money off the field now.
Yeah,
NFL, not for long.
Yeah.
Go get a sponsorship. Do a podcast. Stop by here.
Come on, P&I.
Talk to us.
Facts.
Right? Yeah.
And it makes sense too, right? With the resurgence of Ramondre Stevenson, them having Damian Harris last year, it makes sense for him. Like he didn't fit anywhere. There was no fit for him. And at the later stage in your career, you don't want to go anywhere else. You got family here, you got kids. It's hard to uproot your family. So I could see why the retirement.
I would have loved to seen him go to Tampa Bay. I would have loved it, man. He could take over Gio Bernard's spot. That's what I would have done.
Yeah.
Well, they got a new guy down there who's supposed to take his role.
Yeah, Rashad White.
Rashad White. Yeah. He's gonna be
Another
all right.
White.
Yeah, another White.
There you go. There you go.
I see
There
the
you go.
connection there. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, who knows? Maybe he's got some sleeper value in PPR. We'll see. But next up, all right, this is a big piece of news. We've been saying it here at P&I for weeks. The Browns. That's right. The Cleveland Browns will consider acquiring Jimmy Garoppolo if Deshaun Watson's 6-game suspension significantly increases. That is courtesy of Mary Kay Cabot of Cleveland.com, and she's plugged in with the Browns. So when she says that, I believe it. Guys, what are your thoughts? What do you think?
On Jimmy G going there?
Do you think that they should make the move for Jimmy G?
I mean, what other option do you have? You're going to have Jacoby Brissett there? Are you trying to make a push? Are you kind of just wait? You want to waste that kind of thing? I guess it kind of just depends what your game plan is for this season.
Let me ask you a question. Does Jimmy G move the needle for them? Like in a big, massive impact way?
More
Or a
than
playoff
Jacoby,
team?
more than Jacoby Brissett, I would say yes.
Right. But does that make them a playoff team in your eyes?
I don't know.
Borderline?
Maybe.
Borderline?
Who knows? I mean,
It's so close because the AFC is loaded, man.
Yeah.
Like, so what we had been saying here is, you know what? If he gets at least 8 games and above, why would you waste your season with the roster that they have? They have a Super Bowl roster there. They are loaded everywhere. So why waste the season when you can get Jimmy G? He's only on a 1-year deal at this point,
yeah.
and they have $48 million cap space.
Well, Kareem Hunt's already trying to get out of Dodge, right?
Yeah.
So now you got Nick Chubb, right? You got no other RB2 or 1B. I don't know. Does it make sense?
They like the kid, Dearness Johnson, though. I know
Yes.
that. They like
I'm
He
a
was
fan
a
of
great
him too.
pickup
Very
last
good.
season.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
he did all right last year, too.
Underrated.
Yeah.
Underrated. So, I mean, we'll see what happens with the Cleveland Browns, but it's interesting. At least they confirmed the interest. Like, we've been saying this. We've been pushing them. Go get Jimmy G.
What about you, Pauls?
Go get him.
Like it does, but I mean, like for me with Jimmy G, I think it makes them a lot better. Obviously, better than Jacoby Brissett. But to me, there still is question marks. Like I'm not going to sit there and act like that. I think Kevin Stefanski's that guy because I don't know that. I mean, he's been there for 2 years. He had one good year, one bad year. So you know what I mean. You got to see it, and it's like I don't know. That division is tough. you have Lamar Jackson in there, and you have Joe Burrow. So, you know, it's tough for them because, like I said, we were talking about it last week. If he comes in there and they make the playoffs and they win a game or two, you just cut him and go back to Deshaun Watson, who hasn't played in 2 years. So I don't like. That's a tough situation for me.
It is. It's very dicey too, because if he takes them to the AFC Championship game, I'm not saying it's going to happen.
That's exactly my point.
Hypothetically speaking,
What are you
if
supposed
he
to do?
does, what do you do with Deshaun Watson? Do you just cut bait with Jimmy G and say, all right, well, we appreciate your services.
Yeah.
See you. Or if that happens, you get trade value for him too.
Yeah.
Right? In my eyes, you would.
Yeah.
But I mean, does he make them significantly better playoff team? I'm going to say no, because the AFC is loaded.
And like, I know they have a great running game and Amari Cooper, but like I said, there's been concerns with Amari Cooper playing outside, playing on the road. There are those concerns, and they don't really have anybody after him. It's Donovan Peoples-Jones, and I forget the other guy.
Put it like this.
They got a rookie.
I was concerned with
David
Deshaun.
Bell.
Yeah, well, he was a third baseman for the Phillies. So I'm not worried about David
like,
Bell.
I knew somebody would say it.
Yeah.
But like this, I wasn't even high on the Browns with Deshaun Watson.
Neither was I.
So
I was.
I'm not really high on Jimmy G there either. So
Yeah.
I just think Cleveland is Cleveland.
What if I told you that Lamar Jackson only had 13 more points in fantasy than Jimmy Garoppolo?
I would be mind blown
Because
because
last season.
every time I come up here, Lamar Jackson
incredible observation.
is this guy. That's what I hear. Lamar Jackson is him, right? What proof? He won MVPs, great, but you got to do it in the postseason as well.
Mhm.
I want to see you sit in the pocket and deliver a fucking Super Bowl. We can't do that. We saw he got exposed against Tennessee a couple years ago, and still to this day he hasn't done shit.
I give him a break from last season.
Sure.
The injury bug.
Injury was
That's
crushed.
what I would
I
say.
get it. I'm with you.
That's what I would have
100%
said.
agree.
The answer to your question, injury. Because they were, 8-1 first seed before he got hurt. So,
That's a good stat, man. That's
I
fucking
mean,
crazy.
that's wild, actually. I
That
did not
is.
know that.
Because
I did
Jimmy
not know.
G is not flashy.
I say all the
he
time.
sits in the pocket and does his job, but he's not running to the left and throwing it 70 yards that way. And people don't look for that. That's why all these flashy motherfuckers get paid.
Yeah.
They're not really shit. They're
hire
not
'em
shit.
up.
They're just getting paid because they're putting fans in the fucking seats and
Yes.
selling out the crowd because they're doing behind the back passes and no look throws. and
It's
shit
cute.
like
It's
that.
sexy.
You ready for this?
Yeah.
I got a stat for you. And I actually meant to share this last show, but we were getting so into it, okay? This is a compliment for Jimmy G. He was second in the NFL in yards per attempt last year,
I know.
which is stunning to me.
He was top 10 in every statistical category
Stunning.
for quarterbacks.
I mean, he had a hell of a rebound season.
But he's like the 33rd best quarterback.
It's because he's Italian.
yeah, that's fact.
It's the jawbone.
Oh, man. All right, moving on, guys. Jalen Reagor made some interesting comments out of the Philadelphia Eagles wide receiver, first-round pick, notably taken right before Justin Jefferson. Jalen Reagor literally said, and I quote, that he wants to be an Eagle for life now.
This is great.
Well, there's
What?
one way to do that.
Are you kidding me?
There's one way to do that. Retire.
I was gonna say die tomorrow.
I was gonna be a little bit more nicer. I was gonna say like the guys need a valet when they bring their cars up. I was like, because I know he's fast, so he could get from car to car for them. So that's what I would look. But for him to say that is it's right in line with Jalen Reagor.
Yeah.
We talk about being shot out here. That was the most shot thing that I've heard in a long time. Like this guy literally gets crucified daily in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
I actually feel bad for him.
I don't.
But then again, I mean, well, they put him in that spot, you know. The Eagles didn't take Justin Jefferson.
But he should perform. If you are a
Well,
first round
I agree
talent,
with
you
you.
should perform, especially when given the opportunity. Not many players get an opportunity in an NFL game.
Mhm.
They're usually backups. But he's been given an opportunity and hasn't done anything.
Here's
So
the
that's on
problem,
him.
though. The thing is he was overdrafted to begin with. I don't know what Howie Roseman and them were doing drafting Tyreek Hill Jr. The dude was a punt returner at I can't even think of the school, TCU maybe or something like that.
It was
Was it TCU? Yeah, he was a punt returner.
the Horned Frog.
But he never returned punts for us.
I know.
So I never understood that pick.
Put it this way: the Vikings were laughing when we drafted him because they were like, "Holy shit, Justin Jefferson fell to us!"
Yeah,
Like, holy
that
shit.
clip actually exists of their front
That's
office
embarrassing.
laughing.
They were just
embarrassing.
coming off a national championship.
Rick Spielman, nonetheless. This guy's done nothing lately.
Yeah.
Nothing. Okay. Godfar, if that's correct, there is a report out there saying
him.
that Denver does want Jalen Reagor.
Take him.
And I got a team that he could actually maybe play on. The Chicago Bears.
Yeah, well, when your wide receiver one is Darnell Mooney, anybody can play.
Yeah.
We can go play tight end. Okay?
Yeah.
Because there's a reason for this, actually. It's a great segue. N'Keal Harry, you hear the news today?
Yeah.
N'Keal Harry is likely out for 8 weeks with an injury. He's undergoing tightrope surgery on an ankle sprain. Did you guys ever hear of tightrope surgery?
No.
This is the first time I've ever seen this in an
This is the
injury
first
headline.
time that
Ever.
a team's wide receiver got hurt and they got better.
That's true. That's
Because he stinks.
Yeah. Nobody was excited about getting, no one was like signing him and they're like, oh, we got N'Keal Harry.
He got traded from a team that's wide receiver hungry.
yeah. And they traded him for a 7th round pick.
Yeah.
So they got rid of him for nothing. And he was a 1st round pick 2 years ago.
And he was taking over who? He was taking over a big, a prominent guy, I think, from Belichick.
Yeah, that's regular because Belichick can't
He
draft.
can't take wide receiver.
It's
I
been
don't
a
know what it
minute.
is.
I can't think of who it was. It might have been DK. Was it that year?
A lot of players got drafted ahead.
Yeah, I think so.
So,
But
in fairness,
he took N'Keal Harry. I mean, I guess which first rounder is worse, him or Jalen Reagor? But either way, I actually think he could probably go and play over there. I don't know. He wasn't the perfect fit for the Philadelphia Eagles. So I'm trying to cut him a little bit of slack here. He's not making the team though. I don't think. I think that he's either getting traded or cut. And he is having a good camp by all accounts. That's what they're saying. He's having a good camp.
Would you rather have him or Quez Watkins?
Quez Watkins.
Watkins.
Right?
Yeah.
100%.
And back to your point, doing something with his opportunities, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the other thing is this: if
Give
you're
him a
keeping
chance.
him, you have to have 6 receivers, which they might do. I expect them to do that. And then otherwise, he's got to be able to play special teams. And right now, if I'm going to pick a guy that I know is lighting it up right now, it's Britton Covey, the undrafted free agent. And
Debo Samuel.
yeah,
Debo Samuel was taking 4 spots later. That's who it was.
There
That's
you
what I
go.
was thinking of.
Oh,
so Britton Covey is turning heads. This is a guy who might be able to even be a slot receiver. They love this kid. I think he's actually going to win the job. I'd rather have Danny Watkins. Kyle says, "Good for you."
So
That's the ultimate bust.
these are comments coming in.
These are
from-
comments
Yes,
coming
sir.
from
Gotcha.
Facebook and YouTube.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's my
nice.
brother.
Oh, okay. No, but that's cool. This is a sick setup.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate it. You're welcome here anytime.
Yeah,
by the way.
absolutely,
Yeah.
man.
So, next up, guys, we got our main segments. Philly Phil, give us a little change.
We just got through our quick hitters quicker with the 4 of us than we
I-
do normally with the 3 of us.
I don't
It's an
understand it.
accomplishment.
That's psychotic.
We're respecting our guest time. That's what we're doing.
Oh, I got all the time in the world.
I got time.
Well, he wants to talk
I got
NFC.
time.
You got
Yeah,
time today.
Yeah.
He wants to talk NFC North, and that's coming right now. Okay,
Yeah,
Me too.
I got about this much time.
there you go. You need a little help, man. Appreciate you hooking us up. By the way,
Yeah, absolutely.
First time over here, he gives us drinks and everything. He's fucking legend already. So, guys, I can't wait to talk about this. Hard Knocks, episode 1 on HBO. The Detroit Lions. Thoughts and reactions. This is totally free form, guys.
Amazing.
I mean, I can start us off if you want. I've been waiting to throw out some quotes.
Go
I
ahead.
was earlier.
I've been
Go ahead.
waiting.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Start us
Oh,
off.
yeah, you know what? I'm going to ask you this. Who was the star of episode 1? Because there's so many good personalities. Obviously, we love Dan Campbell here at this table. We've been saying that.
I love
Jamal Williams.
Jamal Williams
Me
is great,
too.
but
Me
like
too.
Dan Campbell for me is just the shit he does. And again, we were talking about this with Joe Judge on Monday, where like you can't fake it. When he talks and he commands the room and the huddle and things like that, you could just tell that he genuinely cares about his guys.
Yeah.
Like just like I was watching, and that was my favorite episode of Hard Knocks I've ever watched.
Agreed.
And that's one of my favorite shows. And it was just unbelievable. You know what Monday is? Pads.
Yeah, I know the screen.
What are we?
Yeah,
My
what
favorite-
are we?
I'll be honest. My favorite part was him doing the up downs with the team.
Me
That was
too,
fucking
man.
fun. I want to do up downs in my bedroom because I was fucking inspired. It was fucking 11 o'clock at night. I was ready to rock. I wanted to run through a fucking wall.
You're gonna do
I
up
wanted to be a Lions fan after that
Yeah.
shit. No disrespect over there. I know
Yeah.
you're a Bears guy, but I'm just saying.
I know.
I was like, damn, yo, I'm rooting for them this year, man. That's
They're
fucking
awesome.
cool to see.
Th-
Yeah.
This is probably the first time that I can remember where like the Lions to me are clearly better than the Bears in a long time. Would you agree with me, Peter? I mean, I'm not trying to rag on your team, okay?
bro, I could give a shit. I rag on it. I rag on it more than you do. I really don't care. You can say like from maybe like a fantasy perspective, the Bears would make more sense. Jordan Montgomery owns that backfield as opposed to in Detroit where you got Jamal Williams and DeAndre Swift.
Mhm.
So better, I'm trying to look, a little bit of highlights here. Like, well,
On the bright side.
they're a better fantasy pick. So,
Chicago's got a better quarterback too.
they
I can promise you that.
yes.
I don't actually.
I don't know
disagree.
about that.
I would disagree, but
I like Justin Fields.
I don't know. I'll say that.
Fair enough.
wait.
That's fair enough.
I don't know.
Yeah, because he's more accomplished. Went to a national championship. He's working.
Went to a Super Bowl.
Went to a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
He's working with shit, right?
Right.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm talking about Justin Fields.
Okay.
Saying he went to a national championship and now he's with the Bears. He's got the mobility, the kind of thing that brings like that star power from like the quarterback position. Jared Goff, I don't think is exciting at all. Look what he was with the Rams. He had every opportunity to be great. Matt Stafford comes in year 1 and wins a Super Bowl.
he didn't even know where the sun rose and set. I'll never forget that episode of Hard Knocks. I knew from that day he was a fucking dummy.
Weirdo, right?
When Jeff Fisher was like, God damn it, son, you don't know where the fucking sun rises and sets. I knew from that moment, I'm like, this guy stinks.
Yeah.
Well, here's what I'll say about Jared Goff. At least he went to a Super Bowl, right? Like he did what he was supposed to do. He did take him to the Super Bowl. So that's an accomplishment in itself. My thing with Fields is I don't think he's getting a fair shake. I don't think they're actually giving him weapons around him, especially when they hired a defensive coach as their head coach. That doesn't help the young kid at all. Like who they had? They have Cole Kmet, that's his best receiver, and Darnell Mooney.
And he's not even utilized. He's
right.
a big body.
I like Cole Kmet.
Yeah,
I'm very high on him. And
they don't get him the ball enough.
I'm actually a Mooney
do
fan,
not.
to be honest.
I
think Mooney can play a little bit.
Can.
I do. He's a 2 or a 3 that's operating as a 1 right now. So when you're
100%.
game planning, not that you game plan for him, but when he's the primary guy that you're looking at, that's where it can get slipped up for him. But like Justin Fields did show some signs last year. He has the mobility, he's athletic. It's just like Nick said, he's working with shit. And I don't know about his coach. Like
bottom 10 offensive line.
You hire the defensive coach from the Colts.
I don't get it.
The GM is a defensive guy. I think he played for the Bears.
Because
actually,
look, you drafted Fields.
Who? Ryan
GM?
Poles?
Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Right.
Of. He came from the Chiefs, right?
Ryan Poles?
Yeah.
Possibly.
Yeah, I think he came from the Chiefs, but I think he was a defensive guy too. So it's like, it's just, I just don't know. I don't understand that hire at all.
But the thing is this team is not the 85 Bears. This team right now has a guy they drafted to be their franchise quarterback. But we'll get to the Bears in a little bit, okay? We'll get to the Bears. Shout out Kyle Piasecki. We see you out there. Chef in the studio, he says.
Nice.
We got Kyle here tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Kyle of Playmaker. Okay.
Yeah. Shout out to Kyle. All the work that he does. He's awesome.
He's a fucking
Facts.
legend, man. He is a legend. Thank you for joining us tonight, Kyle. And guys, now I got to take you to some quotes. Star of the show. I agree. I think it was Jamal Williams, episode 1. Guys, we ran through your body like diarrhea. Drip, drip. You hear me, D? Drip, drip. This guy said this. My time. And then he says, if you go piss like a puppy, stay on the porch and let the big dogs eat. And he was crying.
Mm-hmm.
We talk about passion at this show.
Yes.
That guy is full of passion. I love him now. I love him.
I was actually laughing when he started crying because I'm like, yo, holy shit. Like, he really does care. But that's their leader. That is Dan Campbell.
But here's the thing. You know how hard it is as grown men to do that in front of 50 other grown men or 80 of them at training camp? That is very difficult.
It is.
I tip my cap to him.
Oh,
you know
and
what I
he
mean?
had the floor, man.
He had the floor. They actually respected him. They looked him in the eyes and they actually believed everything he said.
Hold on. Can we shout out Aiden Hutchinson?
Oh, that was fucking awesome.
I can't believe he did that.
The whole team was rocking with him.
Peter.
I was gonna side note real quick.
Go
Have
ahead.
you ever seen anybody cry in like a football locker room? Because when he was like, I was so crying, man.
Yeah.
Brought me back to high school. There's a kid in the locker room. He was doing like steroids. Linebacker, the guy with the neck roll, you see them
Bill with the Mueller.
He's got the beer belly already and the jersey tucked up. And you're like, this kid's fucking developed. Why is he looking at and he was sitting at his locker crying. And as like a junior, and he's like a senior, I'm like, why is he crying? And they're like, dude, he's all fucked up on steroids and stuff. And he's sitting just like, ah! And that's what it reminded me of. I was like, man, guys that cry like that, I'm just like, you got other stuff going on.
The last time I seen that was probably like T.O. That's my quarterback.
Yeah.
You guys remember that?
That was the best. That's my team.
That's my quarterback. Oh, man. Unbelievable. Talk about emotions, by the way. We say this all the time. We say control your emotions here on this show, which never happens on this side of the table. This is the emotional side.
Yeah, I'm very emotional.
So
like
I'm very open
emotions
about
on the
things. I don't
sleeve.
care. I'm
Me
very
too, but I'm
emotional.
rational as fuck.
yeah. I can get if I hear a song, I can start crying anytime drop of a hat. I can give very emotional.
Music.
Oh well,
hits
yeah,
me.
you get me with the music. All right, I'm with you.
It's
there.
a superpower. Being emotional is a good thing. It's a superpower. It is. It's a good thing.
You guys are gonna like this, and I don't know if you remember this. It was very quick, but Deuce Staley was talking about emotions and like running in a circle around Aaron Glenn. By the way, like this staff, literally 80 seasons combined in the NFL.
I love it.
You got Dan Campbell, tight end, Deuce Staley, Super Bowl winner with the Steelers, Eagles, okay, Mark Brunell,
Mhm.
Hank Fraley,
Yeah.
Eagles center during the Super
I
Bowl
was
run.
cracking up seeing Hank
I
Fraley on
just
my
kept on,
screen.
like every
I
single
was dying.
time. Every time one of these guys came on the screen, I'm like, oh shit, I played with this guy in NFL Street. Like, you know, Aaron Glenn, Kelvin Shepard, they all play in the league, man. I love their staff, and they're all full of passion.
Yeah.
But I do want to point out one thing, and we can move on after this if you guys are done with the Lions for now. But Deuce Staley and Aaron Glenn, listening to them talk and fuck around with each other,
Yes.
they are literally us, like at this table.
They're screaming at each other.
They're P&I on the field.
Yes.
That's how they, like, literally, I was listening to them like, oh my God, they sound exactly like us.
It was amazing.
Did you guys like have that takeaway? Because I did. I was
Yeah,
just
because
like,
like in the interview, they were talking like how much love they have for each other and respect. And then, but he said, in between the lines, I'm gonna fuck you up.
Right.
That's how it should be. That's how it should. You have a job. You got to get your players to perform. That's exactly how you got to be.
I said all the time, I love you. When I come to the table, I'm gonna fuck you up.
But you never do.
Always.
So that's the problem. So you know, what I mean? You're failing yourself.
I don't handle it. I don't.
yeah. So that was great, man. I mean, I miss Deuce.
I know.
I mean, look, I like Sirianni, but I was pushing for Deuce to get that head coach job. And I mean, Nick and I, we used to be ball boys with the
Yeah.
Eagles. He was there. He was back. Like him and Doug Peterson intern at the same time was the best, man. Deuce was the best.
He was
Doug
cool
Peterson
with
was
it.
the best. I
Yeah.
love both of those guys. Treated us with respect too.
No doubt.
But Deuce Staley, yeah. So I thought he was going to get a chance at Philly. The players love him.
Mhm.
I know they do. I was surprised.
It is what it is, I guess.
He gained. I feel like he never had any traction to get that job.
No, it was weird, man. Like the whole thing, how it ended, it was surprising.
It was.
Little known thing, I guess. Like it just really didn't get talked about enough.
Mhm.
But you guys got anything to add with the Lions Hard Knocks episode 1?
No, I can't wait for episode 2.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm looking forward to episode 2. It was amazing, man. Like I wanted to run through the wall. It was like 11:30 at night. I was watching and I was fired up, man. I could barely sleep. That episode was fucking amazing.
I started looking at older clips from like Hard Knocks, like 2002 and stuff with Tony Siragusa, R.I.P.
Yeah,
Goose.
right.
Goose.
Missed the
But he
goose.
was paying off kids to go bring him beers during training camp. Do you guys remember that?
No, I
The
don't.
Ravens.
Yeah, with
Yeah,
the
the
Ravens,
Ravens.
he was paying. He was like, "Hey, buddy, hey, go give me some of this," and he would bring him beers to like his little dorm room or whatever. And I was just like, "Dude, that guy's a G."
No way. I do not remember that.
Yeah,
I mean, those Ravens teams were legendary.
Mhm.
and even do you guys remember when Carson Palmer and Jordan Palmer on the Cincinnati Bengals? And they came up with an app called like runp.com, or it's like Run P. So it's like if you want to go to a movie and you got to take a piss, it's like here at 43 minutes, go and take a piss. And you got like a minute 15, and then it gives you like a summarization of like what you missed. And
Really?
They developed an app. Yeah.
I
And they
never
talked-
heard of that.
and they
How did
talked
that
about
turn
it on
out?
Hard Knocks.
That's
Yeah.
Is it still like around now?
I haven't.
I have
looked
not
at it,
heard of that.
but I remember I was watching the clips and I was like, I remember this. He was like, it's called Run P. Yeah.
That's actually fucking genius because when
Wow.
you go to movie theaters, right?
No kidding.
Yeah, when you go to
Oh,
movie
is it?
theaters, they be giving you drinks that are like a fucking gallon. And bro,
Yeah.
you gotta go pee like at least halfway through. It's like
Yeah, you get that like extra
Run and
large
pee, that's
icy,
funny.
extra
Yeah.
large icy, extra large.
nah, I get
popcorn.
a fucking slapper. I get a fucking diet cherry Coke, bro. That's
It's every
exactly what I
time.
get. It's fucking
This is like the first episode that we don't have a Coke at the table.
I know. Cutting back.
All right, Philly Phil, change it up.
Shot
Moving
out.
on.
Dude, I love all these sound effects, by the way.
Awesome, man.
Get you going, man.
Phil's the fucking best. Dude.
Yeah.
He's unbelievable.
Shout out Phil.
Yeah, shout out
Philly Phil behind the boards.
Hey,
all right.
Phil, but don't pretend that I don't see that Pornhub icon up there.
Oh yeah, we get real
Oh.
fucking nasty after this motherfucker. We're freak bulls up here. Yeah, best believe.
Yeah, feel free to throw it. No.
Damn, that's a powerful.
I warned you. I'm sure you want to come back here.
I warned you, it's crazy.
Oh my god.
Oh man.
Hope he doesn't have a clap on.
Redefining shot here
Oh,
at P&I. And by the way, guys, before I actually announce what's going on next, please share the live stream if you haven't already. All right. Sheffield Shuffler from Playmaker is here.
Yeah.
Don't waste any time. Share this with everybody. Get in the room because this is the meat and potatoes right here. It's fucking major. We're going most overrated team entering the regular season this year, and I have a feeling that we're going to have some debates. Who wants to start off? Because this is major, man.
I'll start off. I mean, it seems like motherfuckers getting cold feet up here. I don't give a fuck.
Oh,
The
I'm
bottom
just
line is
doing
the
my
fucking
job over
most,
here, man.
the most overrated fucking team is the Baltimore Ravens, bro. And that's the bottom line.
Wow.
That's
Last
insane.
You threw me a curveball.
Last year they had the 19th ranked defense. This year they ain't got shit at wide receiver. You got Middy's fucking Perriman or Rashad Bateman. You got Middy's Duvernay, and who else do you got? You got Mark Andrews. That's it. So what I would do again, like I said, I would double the tight end and say, "Go ahead, beat me. I'll play. I'll spy the quarterback and go ahead. You can run the football all you want. I got my linebacker spying your quarterback all day long. Don't matter. Or
Wow.
a safety because you ain't gonna need a safety because you ain't got no fucking deep threats on this team." Where do you see it?
Wow, I did not see that coming
the
from you.
production. Last year, Rashad Bateman had 500 yards and Dever Duvernay had under 300. So to me, they don't scare me.
They have 800 yards between their two top wide receivers.
Correct. Thank you. So that's my most overrated team.
Yeah, I'm with them, and I'm going to follow that up with the team I've been saying for a long time, the Green Bay Packers.
Wow.
Shocker. I fucking called that shit.
They are absolutely.
Did I not say that to you?
You did.
What was it, Tuesday? I said, I guarantee he's going
I
to say
called
that.
it earlier on FaceTime. I knew it.
My first one was the Patriots. But they're not really a Super Bowl threat. So I had to go with the Packers, and I had to stay consistent. The Packers have the worst wide receiver core in the NFL.
I can't wait to talk about this shortly.
I just don't understand where the Super Bowl talk is coming from. I mean, he's had Devontae Adams for the last 4 years, and he hasn't sniffed a Super Bowl. So I don't get it. And you leave him, your best wide receiver is a running back. They're not that. And they're just not.
Well, nah, bro. They got Romeo Dubes.
Yeah, I mean, he could be all right.
He
but
didn't
he's
want me
the
to
rock.
spoil that surprise, but it's coming.
Yeah,
It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
I'll save it for the NFC
Yeah.
North talk.
All right.
yeah. No, he's he's having a good camp from what they say, but it's Devontae Adams.
Yeah, facts.
And
Agreed.
there's a reason that there was a big film all over ESPN and Fox Sports 1 with Alan Lazard running across the middle with not a guy within 30 fucking yards of him and him forcing the ball into double coverage to Devontae Adams. I don't know if ayahuasca changed them, but they're the most overrated team to me.
Can
got
I
it. Go ahead.
add something on that?
Go ahead.
Absolutely.
Yeah, go ahead.
Devontae Adams last season accounts for almost 29% of the targets. That matched a career high 169 targets, which was tied for second most in the NFL. That was a career high with 123 catches and 1,553 yards. Who's going to make up for that? 31-year-old Randall Cobb, Alan
No.
Lazard. So now what? Alan Lazard's your RB or your wide receiver one.
Good luck.
Where are those targets going?
I keep saying this.
Robert Tunyon, how much can he do?
Facts.
And my thing is too is like, what does Aaron Rodgers struggle with? He struggles with coming from behind wins.
Because he's always leading. That's the problem.
I didn't see him
leading in the fourth quarter.
Not
every
against
game.
exactly. So that's a problem.
Oh my God.
So he's always leading in the fourth quarter, except for the playoffs.
Oh, I knew you were going to go there, but that's
Well,
okay.
absolutely,
We're
because
talking about regular season
Him
right now.
and Tom Brady. Tom Brady's been in the NFC for 2 years, and they both have the same
And
amount of wins against NFC teams.
Because he's a fucking GOAT. That's why. You can't compare Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady.
No,
That's
I know
crazy.
that, but I'm just saying, like, something has to be made up from that. And we're talking over here about Romeo Doubs, Sammy Watkins, and Alan Lazard to replace Devontae Adams.
Well,
It's lunacy.
Can you tell the audience what your reaction was when I first sent that text saying, look out for Romeo?
So I laughed at it, and then I looked on Twitter, and the
Like,
dude,
is this a player?
the guy's, I actually thought he was trolling. And then I looked him up,
Do I ever?
and he's getting rave reviews left and right that he makes one big play a day. And that's fine until you make a big play in week 1, and then you start getting zoned in on. So it's just like, they're going to struggle this year.
You know what I lost respect for is when the San Francisco 49ers, a bunch of California warm weather playing boys, come into the fucking tundra in Green Bay, You got the weather working for you. You got home field advantage, and you can't fucking capitalize. And you can say, "Oh, special teams. He had a great game." Doesn't fucking matter. You got to get the job done, right? You had
Look at this energy, baby.
Facts.
every opportunity to do it.
Facts. And Jimmy G threw for 80 passing yards that game, and he still
He's
lost.
the truth, by the way.
So I mean, look, yeah, I agree with both of you. So
I've been saying it, and especially with that game, like not for nothing, but I mean, they say, "Oh, special teams won it." Well, Aaron Rodgers scored 7 points.
Aaron Rodgers lost
Yeah.
it. I guess. I mean, literally, I'm not going to disagree with you there, even though I'm higher on this team than most. I'm not going to disagree with you.
I actually don't think. I think a lot of people are high on them. I don't really see anybody talking about him the way
I
Paul
just
does.
saw Ross Tucker saying Vikings just like you. I saw Colin
Well,
Cowherd
he heard
say it.
me.
It's a very winnable
They
division.
did.
Right?
Absolutely.
Winnable division. So, Packers win the division again, like they've had for the last decade. But who fucking cares if you win the division? It's what you can do in the playoffs. And what he's done, not anything.
Nothing.
Agreed.
I don't know. I'm starting to sense a little bit of bear hatred for this team.
Nah, he's just spitting facts.
He's right though.
spitting
By the way,
facts.
he's actually correct. But I mean, I wasn't sure how you were going to react tonight about the Packers.
Oh,
I was not sure.
I'm a realistic person. Like I'm,
No,
I'm
you're
not one
fair.
of those homers. Like I got a little bit of bias on certain things that I can look for highlights and stuff. But I'm realistic. I think that's the most important thing when you're a fan.
Mhm.
It's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
yo, I'm gonna love my team, just like I don't know, your dog or like your wife or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just like, yeah, I mean, like they're not the smartest, but
Yeah.
like, I love them.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah. For sure.
I'm not talking about my wife. I'm talking about,
Dog.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, no doubt. No
I
doubt.
just got that now.
Yeah.
No, I respect the hell out of that though, because I mean, we speak about authenticity here. We just keep it real,
Facts.
straight, no chaser.
Scream it.
But Peter, who's your most overrated team in the NFL going into the season?
I have America's team, Dallas Cowboys.
Okay.
Oh,
Wow.
Okay, so Dallas Cowboys.
that's where I was going.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You take this.
So I got
You
all my
it.
notes here. They finished 12-5 last season, right? Number one scoring offense, averaging 30 points per game. All right. They're playing in the NFC probably the least competitive division in football. They lost 2 O-linemen in free agency. They traded away a top wide receiver in Amari Cooper. Their schedule, Buccaneers, Bengals, Rams, Eagles are going to put up a bigger fight this season. Packers, Vikings, Colts. Tell me that they don't have a more chance of losing those than they do have winning them. And then a bunch of NFC East games that they'll probably win against the Commanders and whoever the fuck else, the Giants.
Don't sleep on Carson.
Oh, stop it.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Their defense is ranked 18th in opponent yards per game. So middle of the pack to the bottom of the, bottom, 2/3, whatever. 20th in opponent passing yards. The most undisciplined team in football. They averaged the most penalties in the NFL this season. We saw how their season ended.
Mhm.
And I'm going to slide. We don't have any timeouts left. Undisciplined Cowboys playing a shitty division. They're not going to do shit.
Thank you so much. You were my hero. Because,
So,
I mean,
I have a question
this
for you,
team's
too.
not making the playoffs this year. I guarantee it. I will put my whole reputation on the line. They are not making the playoffs.
So last show we were talking about it, and the over/under win total for Dallas was 10.5.
Mhm.
Where do you stand on that?
Oh, well, with 17 games now, I mean, you could probably wrap. I mean, like I said, you're playing in
I bet the unders. I took the unders in AC.
under 10.5. So you're
Yes.
looking at like 9 wins.
For
Yes.
Dallas?
and the
Dallas.
Eagles were 9.5. So it's telling me Vegas is telling me that Dallas is the favorite to win the division.
Mhm.
Whereas I see the Eagles win the division, so I bet the overs on 9.5, and I bet the unders on Dallas.
Who has a better defense?
Right now, I actually like the Eagles defense.
I like the
think
Eagles
they
defense way
stocked
better.
up. Yeah,
Say
I
it with
think they
conviction.
stocked up.
I don't think
But
that's-
way better.
I don't
Exactly.
think that's close, to be honest.
Me either.
Exactly.
I mean, you have Diggs, but he let up like 1,000 yards last year. Now he led them in picks because he was jumping the routes,
Right.
but he's not Asante Samuel.
He gets
So-
burned regularly.
That's what I'm saying. He just got
Burned-
burned
he get-
by
he
like
get-
a fourth stringer in practice. He had to deactivate his Twitter. He was getting bullied so bad.
Oh,
So
man.
wouldn't you say that some of those statistics, like I said, number one scoring offense, those are a little bit misconstrued because they play in such a shitty division?
Yes. Now look, and not for nothing, but they dropped 50 that inflated that number on the Eagles B team in the last game of the season.
Seriously.
Now
And
they
they-
did wax us in the first one,
And they pounced on the Commanders last year,
Yes.
too.
but
How'd
the
it
thing
turn out
is,
for 'em?
the thing is with Dallas this year, the reason they're favored is because they're giving the edge with the quarterback as opposed to Jalen Hurts, which you guys know I do like Dak. We're
Dak
gonna
is
learn-
better.
We
Yeah.
will learn a lot about him this year and a lot about CD because, like I said, he is going to be game planned on. Nobody's scared of Zeke anymore. You have Tony Pollard, Michael Gallup's not back. I mean, he hasn't even thrown a pass to his other wide receivers,
I like
except in
CeeDee Lamb
practice.
now. I like his ceiling.
Yeah, CD's good.
He's a good player.
But I mean, when Amari Cooper joined this team, that was when we saw Dak Prescott elevate. Also, Dak Prescott's played his best football when this team runs the ball religiously, they obviously don't identify themselves as a run-first football team, but even last year, in the beginning of the season, the first half of the season, before they started to fall apart a little bit, they were winning games when they ran the football. They're not going to do that. This is Dak's team. He's getting paid $40 million. They want to throw the football. This guy's over 600 pass attempts regularly. Okay,
they're tanking for Sean Payton.
like I mean,
Great
and also,
stats, by the way.
yeah, I love that.
Oh,
You're
thank you.
Great stats.
But I mean, Dak Prescott too. Like the same thing can be said about the offensive line. Look at this guy with and without Tyron Smith, and tell me what you see. Look at him. The
Mid.
stats say it too.
Mids.
I don't even need to read it to you.
It's-
Okay. I mean, he's not going to stay healthy. Zach Martin. Zach Martin. Yeah, well, he deserves that because honestly, he was overrated by PFF. They said he was a top 10 player last year, and everyone else that watched the games, they were like, oh, I don't know. Could this be it for him?
Remember,
He's gotta-
ayahuasca does not show up in drug tests in the NFL.
I guess, man. Whoever works for PFF might have some of that shit. I mean, I'm just saying that guy was not a top 10 player in the league last year. So what I'm getting at here is Dak Prescott needs blocking. Period.
Sure.
I mean, and I'm not saying this guy hasn't gotten better since he's gotten in the league. Like he is better than when he first got
But
here.
let's not pretend everybody needs blocking.
No, but like this guy had a perfect surrounding his entire career to this point, and this is the first time he's really getting tested. But the other time he's been tested was when those guys are out for injury, and he does not perform well. He does not. So now I'm skeptical for this team. I mean, if you're this is supposed to be their strength. They're supposed to score points, right? How are they going to do that this year?
It's gonna be tough.
Zeke's like a walking corpse.
And
I hate to even
He
say
got
it.
crushed today
And-
at practice too, by the way, by Bradley Chubb. He fucking smashed him.
really?
Yeah, you gotta check that clip out.
And it's funny
crazy.
too with me, like with Mike McCarthy.
Chubb.
I feel
Yeah.
like he's a fatter Jason Garrett. I think he's the same guy. I really do. I think he's a fatter Jason Garrett with his, and he got a Super Bowl ring with Rodgers.
How he didn't get fired already is beyond me. Jerry Jones is over there. Like
Well, he's a great dinner.
Jerry's asleep at the wheel, I guess. Like literally, I hope he's there forever. I hope Jerry Jones lives forever. I really do.
He's got too much control on that team. He doesn't let the coach do his thing.
He's a
You know what I mean?
camera
Like,
whore.
that's the
You
problem.
saw what happened? Jimmy Johnson out, Jerry Jones in.
Yeah.
What's happened since? How old are we?
I'm 30.
Yeah.
They haven't even been to a.
Do I need to play the
conference
David Akers clip from the draft?
The thing, the money keeps coming in, though. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
That's because it's like
So he's the
150
master
to
of
par.
that.
Right.
He's the
well, it's
master.
like, you're a Cowboys. You've seen those guys.
Yeah.
Cowboys fan. Like,
They normally have on like a pair of Jordans that are
Jorts.
too big, jorts,
shorts.
and the white jersey with the blue on the top.
Yes.
And they like the Yankees and the Lakers. They're fans of the best.
Yeah,
man.
and like a
The
high
best.
fade.
We call them
Yes.
cockroaches here in South Jersey, Philadelphia area.
Yeah.
Cockroaches.
Mhm.
So if you see one, like get your shoe ready. Right.
Who's your overrated team?
I was going Cowboys, but I'm gonna change it up a little bit. And by the way, I was not expecting what you said. I was gonna let you have, I'll say it now. We were talking about the Bengals a couple days ago. And I hate to say it, but everyone acts like this team has got a clear shot to the Super Bowl again. Like they had
Thanks,
a miracle run. I hate to say it. Like,
Love is love.
yeah, I'll take one. But the Cincinnati Bengals, man, I'm so skeptical of their defense. I don't know. Thank you very much. Sheffield Shuffler's in the building.
He's the
baby.
man, man.
I know.
You're
Look at
welcome
this.
any fucking time,
Oh,
bro.
You know what?
Absolutely.
Cheers to
dude.
this. I mean, he says the
Absolutely,
Cowboys are the
man.
most
Cheers.
overrated. I'll cheers to that.
Cheers to that.
Every day of the
man.
week.
Love is love.
Look, Godbarb literally said he was ready to run through a wall.
My
You got
God, man.
Godbarb's approval.
I should have brought sour.
Cheers. Now, the Cincinnati Bengals.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay.
That's hitting.
Yeah, facts.
All right. Cincinnati Bengals. I'm really worried about their defense, and I don't think they did enough to improve it. Joe Burrow's missing time right now. I'm not worried about that. Obviously, I think the offense is phenomenal, but
You're worried about the defense over everything?
the defense.
How about the 17 sacks he took in a Super Bowl?
Yeah. Well, the offensive. Right. Exactly.
Right?
Well, the one thing that
Yeah.
actually. Well, the thing that actually they went out and did this offseason, I'll give them credit, is they actually tried to improve the offensive line.
Yeah.
We'll see how it turns out, but that is still like, until you see it, it is a question mark.
Sure.
But I do like what they did there this offseason. Okay. I'm just saying, as I said when we did the team tiers, they're more of a playoff runner team. They have the potential to go deep. But remember how hard it is
Me
for
too.
the loser. Oh my God, pause. Remember how tough it is for the loser of the Super Bowl. It doesn't generally work out well. the next year. I mean, just ask the Eagles. 2004. I just remember that every time.
How much stock do you
Eagles.
put into that?
What?
The play or the Super Bowl hangover. You lose a Super Bowl. How much stock do you put into this?
Zero.
Here's how much. Ready for this? I think they're making the playoffs, and I already said this. The Bengals are going to make the playoffs, but the AFC is just loaded. There's teams that I like better than them that are more all around. And like, you know, we're talking about all these elite offenses in the AFC. I mean, you got Baltimore, Cincinnati themselves, Buffalo, Kansas City. You got the Chargers, the Broncos, the Raiders. These teams score points religiously. Like, I expect they'll be able to score points, but are they going to be able to stop you?
I mean, not
I don't
for nothing,
know. They had a decent defensive run.
The Cincinnati Bengals offense is 35 times better than the Chiefs.
I didn't say that they weren't.
And
by the way, they are. They are.
Burrow is arguably a top 5 quarterback going into the season.
Yeah, but you heard what I said, though. I said that can they stop people? I know that they can score with the best of them. Can they stop anybody? No. Are they going to replicate what they did in the playoffs?
Who's to say they can't?
I didn't say that they can either. I'm just saying, if I look around the rest of the AFC and I look at the defensive talent that's there, I just don't love their unit. There's a lot of lesser known names. I understand that, but I don't particularly love it. And they were very up and down last year.
Let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
Can the Bengals outscore any team in the NFL?
Absolutely. And that's their strength. And that's why they're going to be a playoff team. Because they're going to score a fuck ton of points.
Because my thing is
and by the way, they were a running football team last year. Let's not get it twisted. I expect them to throw the ball more this year now that Joe Burrow is comfortable and does have improved blocking.
Those games that they won were won on the second half backbone of their defense.
I know.
Shutting down teams.
That's what I'm saying. But like,
I mean, Jamar Chase is cooking Eli Apple.
We're talking about a whole season worth.
Yeah.
Let's not go there.
Well, Eli Apple starts for them. So
yeah,
I'm just saying. Though, like,
I was making a joke. Yeah.
They needed to do a little bit more on the defensive end to keep up with these teams.
Did he play that bad last year? I don't think so.
No, I mean, he was getting cooked a little bit in the Super Bowl, but look who it was.
Cooper Kupp.
And OBJ was getting him a few times too. But
Cooper Kupp cooked everybody. It doesn't even matter. So you can't go by that.
Cincinnati was ranked 19th in regards to opponent yards per game, just above the Jaguars and the Giants.
Yeah, see, like that's not going to cut it for me. And I mean, I do think that they could build on their playoff success defensively. Like, this is the thing, is like, if I didn't have confidence in the team's ability, I wouldn't be saying they're a playoff team, because there are so many good AFC teams.
Sure.
Like, I have the Raiders not getting in. I think that, I mean, they were a playoff team last year. This is Nick Theory's, like, I don't want to steal this from you, but it's coming up. But this is Nick's been saying this for the longest time. The Raiders are his team, and someone's got to miss out of the playoffs.
Yeah.
To me, then, like, when I look at Bengals and Raiders, it's like this. Okay, well, even the Bengals defense is better than Raiders, and their offense is better than Raiders. But they're both two teams that are going to score a ton of points and suffer on the back end.
Who's got a better?
And by the way,
rush,
really weak secondaries.
Who's got a better pass rush?
The Raiders actually do now.
Max
Although
Crosby.
that's major.
But
Max
don't-
Crosby's nasty.
And Chandler Jones.
Yeah.
But don't
Come
forget
on, bro.
Trey Hendrickson. But the Raiders do have a better pass rush now.
I'm just saying.
I like
I
Max
know.
Crosby's story. You know, he
Yeah.
was like an addict.
Absolutely.
And do you remember the Hard Knocks when he was on it and he broke his fucking arm and he was like, "It's a noodle, and they wrapped it up and they gave him a cast. That's tough, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. He loves the game. He don't want to be out there. He don't want to miss reps. He loves the fucking game. That's who I want in my foxhole. Period. In the fucking story.
You sound like Dan Campbell. I love it.
Nick Campbell.
I love your energy.
This has always been me, though.
Nick
I know.
Campbell.
This has always been
He
me.
actually said the
I think
foxhole
Dan Campbell's
comment.
fucking adopting my shit.
Him and
Maybe,
Darren Waller-
man.
Him and Darren Waller were
Yes,
addicts together,
yes.
and they have that connection,
Yes.
and like that kind of stuff goes a lot deeper.
A long way.
Yeah.
Yep. The bond is special
Mhm.
between them.
Yeah,
Yes.
bro. You hit rock bottom together, and now
Yes,
you're on the
bro.
top.
Right.
Yes.
Brothers.
That matters.
Are you guys ready to change it up to underrated teams?
Yes. Yeah.
Philly Phil, hook us up. All right. The NFL's most underrated team entering the regular season is. Who wants it?
Pause. Pause. Number 3. I did 3 because I couldn't choose. Number 3, I have the Broncos. Number 2,
So pick your number one.
my number 1,
Straight up.
the Vikings.
There you go. Of course.
It's the Vikings. And here's the thing: the Bengals were number 2,
You
by
too?
the way.
That's mine. Yeah. We're gonna
Wow.
keep
The
going.
Bengals were number 2, by the way, which is funny because you have them as
They just
overrated.
because they're getting way like supreme love. That's all.
Well,
I'm saying.
here's the thing. I
They
mean,
did,
They were
like-
scoring all those points with a shitty offensive line, and they upgraded that offensive line and brought back the whole team. They're
Big
going
facts.
to be legit. But I'm going with the Vikings because I read this stat. If you take out the last 2 minutes of every half of the Vikings games this year, they would have been 15-2.
You can say that about everybody, though, probably.
I'm saying about the Vikings this time.
Yeah.
Because the Vikings are going to win the North. I guarantee it.
Oh, he's getting a
I
jump on me.
guarantee it.
I'm with you, Poles.
I'm telling you.
Wow.
I'm telling you. Mike Zimmer hated Kirk Cousins. He was a defensive guy, and they got rid of him. Kevin O'Connell is coming from a Super Bowl winning team under Sean McVay, who knows offense. He will squeeze all the juice out of Kirk Cousins.
Pause.
Pause.
Major pause. But
Wow.
they have a bomb squad offense. And I'm telling you, their defense isn't trash either. I'm not saying they're good, but I don't think they're trash.
They were awful last year, bro. They were 30th. They were the 30th ranked defense.
So 32 would have been trash. 30th.
They're
is all right for
fucking.
me.
They were fucking awful last year.
They will be fine, and they're going to win the North. I guarantee it.
I mean, I'm cool with it because I think they're going to be a playoff team. But remember, like they had been scoring points. Like last year, top 12 in points. The year before, 4th in points. It hasn't mattered. They're going to score points, but is it again? It comes back to balanced. I just don't know. Like to unseat the Packers. I mean, that's saying something. They won 13 games 3 years in a row, all 3 under Matt LaFleur. Like this is being made out to be like it's not an easy task to beat this team.
How about this?
They lost
And
their
Aaron
offensive
Rodgers
coordinator.
Aaron Rodgers
number
owns the NFC North. Okay, I wasn't going to say this yet, but 56-21-1 against the NFC North.
Yeah, but look
All
who
right.
he's played.
109.5 rating. The Vikings are
How
one
about
of those
this?
teams, bro.
We get it.
He shreds them.
Aaron Rodgers, great. We get it. Kirk Cousins, all right? It's not a sexy guy. He's not sexy. But ranked number 4 QB rating last year. Number 4. Year before that, ranked number 5 QB rating. Year before that, ranked number 7 in QB rating. The year before that, ranked
Turn your mic up, bro.
number 9.
Turn it down.
Hey, yo, Philly Phil, turn his fucking mic up because he's fucking potting right now.
Dude, I'm telling you, he's not sexy, but look at his fucking stats. Like last year, 4 in QB rating. Year before that in 2020, 5 in QB rating. Year before that, 7 in QB rating. Year before that, 9 in QB rating. That's fucking consistency. And he's not sexy. And he plays on the Vikings. It doesn't fucking matter. You want to tell me you have a top 10 QB rated quarterback? Dude, that's Kirk Cousins. That's consistency. Granted, they have one of the worst defenses regarded in regards to opponent yards per play, ranking 30th, like you mentioned.
With a defensive mastermind,
Right,
head
but when you
coach.
play in the NFC North, does it really fucking matter? When you're playing the Lions and you're playing the Bears, you can get away with that. Also, they were a top 10 passing yards per game team, 13th in points per game. This top 13 in points per game. Vikings, and then I have that
his
stat here.
stats. Ooh.
And then the stat that you said, 15-2 last season, if you take out the last 2 minutes of each half. So if you take out the last 2 minutes of each half, even if you do half of that and you say, 15-2, there's still, you can see 13 wins, 14 wins, whatever it is. Close out, defense improves, offense, closing out games, whatever it is. Also, they were the number 1 team to lose by 1 score or less. Nobody has lost by less than the Vikings. Does that make sense?
Except for
even
maybe
stats.
the Lions. Maybe the Lions too, though. By the way, the Lions lost love.
I don't even do the stats like that. And I just want to turn his fucking mic up because that's what I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I can't
Well,
wait for
listen.
this
Now I'm
come
going to pull a page out of you guys' book because I know Kirk Cousins statistically is phenomenal. But why doesn't he win then? And that's the thing. Is like we talk about the last 2 minutes of the game, last 2 minutes and a half, like it's nothing. Like that's it, baby. That's how you win in this league.
No, I'm
and
talking about like it's nothing.
and
I'm
Kirk
with you.
Cousins.
I'm with you.
And Kirk Cousins doesn't perform well in those moments.
He's a 59.
And I like Kirk Cousins.
I don't. He's 59 and 59.
But you got him in the division.
Not that I don't like him because I'm not. I said this all the time. Aaron Rodgers is over fucking rated. He is, bro. Period. The dude's
Wow,
not.
that's wild disrespectful.
I can't call him overrated, bro. He's back-to-back MVP.
Hey,
You can
that's
talk about
perfectly
his
fine.
postseason all
That's
you
not
want.
no-
That's what I'm
overrated
talking
player,
about.
though.
That's what I'm talking
But
about.
you're on ayahuasca yourself.
No,
if you say
no,
he was
no.
overrated.
What makes him
Oh,
overrated?
The dude doesn't win. He's
He's
not
still
a
got
fucking
one
winner.
more bowl than Dan Marino. And he's in my top 5.
And he has the same as Trent Dilfer and Nick Foles.
But are we going to really say that they're on the same stratosphere?
Dude, when it matters, he doesn't fucking perform. Since I was a senior in high school, how many times do we have to go through this? Why does it not get held against him? Just tell me why. Why does his playoff
I think it does.
downfall? No, it doesn't, because you're still saying he's the GOAT. It's unbelievable.
Really?
Not that he's the GOAT, but you're
You're
still
taking
saying
it
he's
easy over
excellent.
there. You're getting sweaty.
I am because I'm fucking
hot
coming. You
here.
don't got nothing to say, and that's why you're going that way.
Oh,
But if you want to try and challenge me on that, tell me what he's accomplished in the
I
last
agree
12
with
years.
you.
Thank you. That's
I
all I
have
need to
been
say.
in agreement with you on that.
He's accomplished
Where's
nothing
this-
in 12 years. It's
Have
just,
you been here the last how many shows? I agree with you there. I've been agreeing with you. He
So-
should be winning more in
exactly.
the postseason.
So that's why I say that when it comes to that,
I'm with you.
I think he's overrated. I don't
You're
think
not
that,
coming my throat.
I'll come at your throat, but I don't think
Almost.
I don't think
Put up
that
the Pornhub.
Bro, this is
I'll
regular.
come to your throat.
This is regular.
I don't think that Aaron Rodgers performs when it matters most. And I have documented evidence for the last 12 years to prove that.
But the thing is, where he does perform where it matters most is in the regular season, where he wins the division every single year. That
So-
part, I can guarantee you he's going to.
So let me ask you a question. Would you rather win 10 division titles or 2 Super Bowls?
I hear you, but we're talking about the Vikings winning the division or not.
Yeah, and I
And
think the
I
Vikings
can't
are.
remember how many division titles have they won recently.
I'm not worried about recently. I'm not
Gotta go
worried
down
about
the list.
recently.
5 years ago.
He's dominated the regular season. That's
I know,
great.
but that's why they're not going to win the division. The Vikings. They're not going to.
We'll see. We'll see. One of us is going to be right.
They're going to score
And
more
it's going to
points.
be a long fucking January for you when the Vikings win the division.
I got them in the playoffs.
long day.
Watch
Guess
their-
what?
Oh, I don't
Don't
care.
forget this. Dalvin Cook's biggest fan. Ask anybody. I am the biggest Dalvin
Oh,
Cook
no, I'm
fan
just
in
saying
the
it's going to be a
game.
long day. Once the Vikings wrap up that division, I
Oh,
can't
if they
wait for
do
that
it,
day.
Then God bless you.
I can't wait for that day.
Godspeed. I'm going to root
I've
for
been
you.
saying it since July. It's August. So
Oh,
I'm
And,
ready
we-
to
and we
rock.
mentioned those target shares. Devontae Adams. It's real easy to throw it to one of the best wide receivers in the NFL. Who's going to pick up for that slack, right? You got on the team 31-year-old Randall Cobb? I don't think so. And then you got Alan Lazard. You're going to make him a wide receiver one?
He had
Okay.
40 catches last year.
Yeah.
Right.
You want to know what they did? And actually, this is a credit to your boy Jimmy. All right. The Packers literally, they see the way the 49ers win football games and how they advance in the playoffs. And that's what they're trying to be. We're going to beat you on the ground and we're going to beat you defensively. And we're going to just tire you out. That's the path that they're going. Unfortunately, yes, they're going to have to rely on some underexperienced wide receivers. And that'll be just fine to get them through the regular season.
Hey,
My
man,
thing is that
They're going to have a top 5 defense.
My thing is
They're
this.
not going to score as many points, but you still got Aaron Rodgers at
If
quarterback.
what they did for the last 12 years wasn't successful, what makes this year perform at the 49ers level? What makes them
No,
a
but
top
that's why I'm
49er
saying
this
it's
year?
the
I don't
49ers
understand that.
consistently
I can't
advance in
rock
the
like that,
they
but
consistently advance in the playoffs. They beat the Packers ass last year.
I agree, but why didn't you
They're
adopt
trying
that
to-
with Devontae Adams? If you had Devontae Adams and you developed that,
I don't
then
know.
would
I'm not in
understand
that
you. I'm
front
rocking
office.
with you.
Devontae Adams wanted out though. He wanted out.
But there's a reason why he wanted out.
Maybe.
Yeah, because he has a poor leader leading his team.
Yeah, whack.
Maybe, but that poor leader
job.
made him his bread too, you know.
Sure,
yeah, he
that's
did.
true.
Just saying.
That's fucking
He did.
true. That
But
is true.
I'm just saying though, like you see how the 49ers win football games and they literally beat them with an 82-yard passing performance from their quarterback.
That's an indictment on
it's-
Aaron Rodgers.
And maybe it's an indictment on the Packers too.
Nah, just
It's
Aaron
on
Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers, by the way. He should have won that game. That's an
And not for
embarrassment.
nothing. Not only did he lose
Go back to
Devontae
that.
Adams,
Go back to that clip,
he
and
lost his offensive coordinator.
which also might be a little forgotten. But remember, Matt LaFleur is an offensive guy, so I'm a little
Yeah.
less. I'm a
Well-
little less worried about that. And Aaron Rodgers himself is like a coordinator.
When he was the offensive coordinator, he was ranked 28th in the league.
It got him the job, though. You know?
Pulse, tell me this too. Isn't it easy to hate Aaron Rodgers?
It is.
Oh yeah.
Because for me,
He's a-
it's just like
he's-
I just fucking hate you. Like,
Well-
and I'm not gonna root for like,
Yeah.
yeah,
You see the
you're
twinkle?
good, but I fucking hate you. Like,
No.
it's so easy to hate him. He's such like a, oh, I have long hair and I'm from California and I don't talk to my family. Vaccine not for me.
Hey.
Like, I date women. He's
Oh,
just
I'm
a
with
fucking
you.
weirdo.
My thing
I'm
with
with you on
him
that.
is like my thing with him is again to me like when you say you're great and you're talking about him as a top 5 ever and you're back-to-back MVP. What do you do when it matters?
Mhm.
Pressure makes diamonds. When the pressure's on, he does not perform. I'm not scared of Aaron Rodgers in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And nobody at this table can say with a straight face that they are because there's no evidence of that. There's none since 2010.
And we talked about it earlier that you had the most opportune conditions, snowy day in Green Bay when it mattered most. That's people are afraid to go
Oh,
there.
I agree
It's
with
like,
you
it's
on that.
snowing.
I agree
It's
with you.
-2 in Green Bay. We got to go play Aaron Rodgers. That's your fucking. That's
Who were we just
Yeah.
laughing about right before this show? Jimmy G.
yes.
He's been to a Super Bowl more recently and more NFC Championship games in the last 3 years than Aaron Rodgers.
Mhm.
Inexplicable. And he has the best wide receiver in the game, or second, if you want to say Cooper Cup, like I did.
And he's Italian.
Yeah, yeah.
And Jimmy G's
So-
fighting for a fucking job.
Fighting for his
The
job.
key thing with Aaron Rodgers in the playoffs, I mean, the stats look fine other than the win column.
that's my
and he does
buddy.
not. He doesn't go out and win.
Evan Davis, that's my buddy.
What's up,
Evan Davis is curious
See
to
how-
see how Adams will perform without Rodgers, and maybe vice versa. 'Cause you
Bro,
said Adams
that guy was the one who I did I started my podcast with.
Okay.
So me and him started
Welcome.
it together, and we would talk about basketball. He would do all the basketball stuff, football stuff. Yeah, he's the one. So I'm Sheffield Shuffler, and he was the Addison Ass Man.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I live in the corner of Sheffield and Addison, and I was
dope.
the Sheffield Shuffler walking back, and we would just, pull bitches. And this is when I was in a lot better shape and single, but he was the Addison Ass Man. Evan, thanks for watching, dude.
Yeah, thanks for
man.
tuning in,
Yeah,
Evan.
Welcome to the show.
And I,
Clapping cheeks.
and I appreciate him raising this point. Curious to see how Adams will perform without Rodgers. Rodgers makes the most average receiver look like a stud,
Who's that?
and that is what
But who's the average receiver that he looks like a stud?
Devontae Adams himself was a bust for 2 years, 2.5 years.
You can make Alan Lazard look pretty amazing.
Alan Lazard looks,
Right?
yeah. I mean,
We're gonna see.
Well done,
It's gonna be a
Evan.
different.
he's done it
2-day
his whole
adjustment.
career. I mean, Jordy Nelson wasn't good for the first 2 years of his career.
Oh my gosh.
You know,
Jordy Nelson.
See, my thing is,
That guy.
I think people are really
Greg Jennings
underrating.
became an All-Pro.
But people are really underrating the fact that you're losing the best wide receiver in the entire.
Oh, I know.
NFL,
Both
all
things can
pure
be true,
offense,
Nick.
And you didn't replace him with anything.
I'm
You're
with you.
counting on Alan Lazard, who had 40 catches last year, and Romeo Dubes, and who else?
Oh,
Sammy Watkins.
I'm with you, bro.
I'm sorry, but that's not going to cut it for me, bro. Because Sammy Watkins can't even stay healthy.
But see, both of those things can be true, though. What you're saying is true. They should have gotten another receiver. I still think they should. And it's great that their rookie looks good in camp, but it is not the regular season. However, this is why the Packers are willing to move on with this group, because this is what Aaron Rodgers can do, be it in the regular season or whatever. This is what he does.
Because
He
here's my
does
thing.
make average
Here's my
receivers
thing.
look like
If
studs.
Alan Lazard was that guy, Devontae Adams getting a lot of attention, Alan Lazard should be having more than 40 catches.
Maybe he
If
will.
you are that
You're
guy,
getting locked in. If you're playing
But-
the Packers, what's your game plan around Devontae Adams, right?
Right.
But he does. Let's see what he does with a higher target share. He does trust the kid. I agree, though. He's not
He
a
has
number
no
one.
choice but to
He's
trust
not
him.
a number one wide receiver. But the stats even show how effective he is in the red zone. Who knows?
I mean,
I'm just saying he's not a number one receiver, though.
no.
no.
Can he be a decent number two? I don't know. Let's see what he
Maybe.
does
I mean,
with a
personally,
larger
see, we'll
target
see.
share. Like that's the thing. It's like the thing with the Packers wide receivers is they're just question marks. They're question marks. We don't truly know if they're good or bad because there's too many question marks.
That's why
right
they're
now
overrated.
on paper though, I would have liked to see more.
Sure.
But that's not going to be their style, okay? They're going to run the football. They're going to run the hell out of football. Fuck, we're not even going to have to talk about NFC North. We already beat it to the fucking... Anyway, they're going to run the hell out of football, all right? Their defense is going to be top 5. I promise you that. Mark my words. The defense will be top 5. They're
Packers?
great at every single level. They drafted 2 more pass rushers. They have a phenomenal defensive line. They have the best secondary in football. By the way, Romeo Dubes is beating that secondary in practice. So, I mean, that's got to count for something. It's a 4th-round rookie.
That's an indictment
Beating-
on that defense.
No, that
you're
that
saying
secondary, Jair Alexander's a shutdown, and Eric Stokes is very good.
getting
I
burned
would-
by a fourth round rookie.
I'm just telling you, that is the best secondary in football right now. They're 4 deep. They have 2
Me
phenomenal
too,
safeties.
but damn.
Only 5
It's-
other teams have less passing yards against them.
And Jair Alexander was out pretty much the whole year last year.
Mhm.
So this is the point I'm trying to raise. It's going to look a little different for you. I understand your point, though. Like, they need to do it in the fucking postseason. Will this new formula do it? I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine because I haven't seen them do it this way before. Are they going to embrace playoff football? You have to be able to run the ball in snowy Lambeau. I agree, and it was fucking embarrassing.
If they're a run-first team with Aaron Rodgers at the quarterback, that tells me you don't touch Aaron Rodgers throwing to those wide receivers.
I'm just telling you that that's how it's going to be set up. It's going to run a football a little bit more, and this guy is going to be as effective as always. Because, I mean, look, even though, again, the playoffs, I get it. He has not won enough in the playoffs. He's got 11-10 record, but his rating on average, 100. He's got a 2-to-1 ratio, pretty much. Look,
Because he's safe.
5-1, bro. 45 touchdowns, 13 INTs in the playoffs.
This is my point. This is all they talk about with
No.
Aaron Rodgers is the touchdown
Bro.
to interception ratio.
Listen to me. I just said to you, he needs to win, though. That's what Tom Brady does, right? It's not
With
about
a
the
lot
fucking
less.
flash.
With a lot-
He
a
needs
lot
to
less.
win the game.
Exactly right.
He needs to go out and find a way to win the game, including last year. He needed to find a way to win that game. I'm in agreement with you, but I'm just saying it's not like he played poorly in these games. He just didn't do it when it mattered.
That's playing poorly.
In your book, correct?
You scored
But-
7 fucking points.
Yeah,
And you're-
I
and you're- and you're-
I agree with you.
Exactly.
And last year,
And you're
though,
home.
last
the
year
best
was
conditions.
last year was the first time in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 postseasons. It's the second time in his entire postseason career that he didn't throw 2 touchdowns in a football game.
That's a relevant stat to me.
I know. I'm just telling you though. This is the one time. Like this is a major outlier. Like last year, that was unacceptable. Will it get better? I can't answer that for you, but I'm just
Yeah,
telling you,
'cause
it's
that's
going to
tells
look
me-
a little different.
He's just so easy to hate.
No, I agree with you there.
Yeah.
I agree. I do enjoy watching him play though. All right.
Hold on. Are we getting into sleepers?
Hold on.
We didn't even finish underrated.
My underrated team is the Raiders,
Sorry.
as we talked about earlier.
Go ahead.
Derek Carr was 5th in the league last year in passing yards with 4,800. Now he gets Devontae Adams. He has Hunter Renfrow. He performed at a Pro Bowl level last year, and he made the Pro Bowl as well. Darren Waller was out for 6 games. I'm thinking this team is fucking loaded. They got Josh McDaniels, who's an offensive mind in at the helm. I really like what the Raiders did on the pass rush as well, especially in that division. You have to get after Mahomes, Herbert, and who else is in there? Herbert and Russell Wilson. That's right. You have to get after those players and create turnovers and score points. And that's exactly what I think the Raiders are going to do. I think they're going to surprise a lot of teams this year.
They're not
Seriously.
even. My thing is,
I'm serious.
they're essentially being written off. in the
Absolutely,
West.
they are.
And it's,
Everybody's talking about Broncos, Chiefs, Chargers, but nobody's talking about the Raiders. They made great moves this offseason, and I'm very excited to watch them.
I mean, Derek Carr led them to the playoffs with Hunter Renfrow as his one.
Yes.
'Cause Darren Waller was cheeks last year.
And he threw for 4,800 yards. His touchdowns were low. He had 23 touchdowns and 14 interceptions. But again, he didn't have much to work with.
I don't care. He won the game.
He had Zay Jones as a wide receiver too, and made the playoffs. But they lost Rich Bisaccia. That could have messed with the mojo. But I really trust Josh McDaniels in his offensive mind, and I'm looking forward to.
I love.
I like the Raiders this year.
I think Rich
Absolutely.
Bisaccia should have kept his job, to be honest.
I do too, because
Agreed.
they rallied around him, but I also like Josh McDaniels as well. I actually think he's going to have a second crack at it. I think people learn from their first mistakes. I think he's going to get better, and now he actually has a better team around him. He's not coaching Tim Tebow.
He drafted him though.
He was forced to. He was forced to. That's not McDaniels' style. He was forced to draft him. But now he actually has a good quarterback, and he's got a great wide receiver core around him. He's not used to that in New England with
He's dealing with
wide
mids.
receivers.
That's a
Yeah,
good
he's dealing
point.
with mids. Now he's got lethal talent. I think he's going to put him in the best position, and I think the Raiders are going to be really slept on, and I think they're going to creep up with some teams this year.
Absolutely.
I mean, shit, they won what, 10 games last year?
And the
Let me double
Chandler Jones acquisition was major as well.
Bro,
is
that
one of-
was major.
Super major.
Hold on. That is one of the single most underrated moves of the entire offseason.
Oh, I wanted him
And
to be on the Birds.
I don't understand why it's not being talked about.
Honestly, because there's some belief. Well, first of all, this guy's been under the radar his whole career.
Yep.
His whole
also
career. Like this guy, literally look at the sacks leaders the last decade, and he's going to be at the top of the list. In fact, maybe the top of the list. Okay, elite pass rusher, and still is, and that's why he got paid.
He's
And you're
amazing.
pairing him with Max Crosby now.
Yeah, he's amazing.
I mean,
there's nothing to be said about Chandler Jones. He's going to get after the
that
quarterback.
was a hell of a signing. I
It's major.
completely agree. And like that is the thing. Like if it's going to work out for the Raiders defensively, the pass rush has to hit home because that secondary is awful. Like
Sure.
major booty cheeks. Major.
But as we've seen in the past, if you get pressure on the quarterback consistently,
It can make
they
up
will
for it.
make mistakes, and then you create turnovers, and then they had the offense to capitalize off the opposing
And Nick,
turnovers. And that's why I really think the Raiders are really
Key to the season for the Raiders is exactly what you just said. And that's actually the same thing with the Bengals. The same thing. If the pass rush hits home, it alleviates the concern on the back end of the defense and therefore giving up points.
Yeah.
So that's the thing with the Raiders. At least you know they're going to have one of the best pass rushing duos in the entire league. I can guarantee that.
And weirdly enough, I'm not saying I like Josh Jacobs in fantasy, but I like his position. I mean, he's on a contract year. He's trying. I know, pause. I know. Yeah, it's crazy. He's doing doggy. Yeah, pause. Anyway, I like his position in terms of getting paid. If he performs well this year and he's got a team around him,
Josh Jacobs.
yes, he's got an opportunity to get paid. So I'm thinking he's going to play a little bit better, and he's going to have to be forced to play better because he
Yeah.
wants to get paid. He
Nick,
sees contracts.
There's a part of me that thinks that they're just trying to push him a little bit.
Sure, why not?
There's a part of me, but also
good
there's
theory.
another part of me knowing this guy's injury history where if you're playing him in the first preseason game, starting the first preseason game, that's a little worrisome.
And they
I'm not
also
gonna make
didn't
a big
pick up
deal,
his
though.
fifth-year option too, right?
Correct.
Yes.
Correct. They did not pick him.
Right. That's fine.
I mean, so that's
he
the
just
thing.
gets
It's a
those-
prove it.
those
Yeah, it
drag-
is.
It's a prove it.
They're
here.
really asking him to
To
prove.
prove it.
I mean,
He
Josh
gets-
McDaniels kind of he's a hardo.
Because like I
So
said,
I'm not surprised.
running backs, like I said in the last show, running backs are a dime a dozen. If you're not the top 10, you're replaceable.
Mhm.
So
Facts.
for Josh Jacobs, he's seen as replaceable. But this is an opportunity for him to be surrounded by a loaded offense to have a big year and have an impact.
And in theory, he should have a good year with his surroundings that he has.
Look,
I mean,
I'm not saying
I don't
draft
love
him-
their offensive line.
I'm not
but
saying
it's,
to draft
it's
him top.
improved a little bit.
Top, the first 2 rounds in fantasy. That's not what I'm saying. I think he's going to have a good impact on the team. That's what I'm saying.
That's
I think he's
fair.
going to have
That's
a good
fair. So
Raiders top 6 in passing yards per game, and they're adding Devontae Adams.
Yes.
Good luck.
Derek Carr was
And
4,800
Waller
yards
was
last year.
out a lot.
Yeah,
Waller
had
a
a
mini
game,
season
right,
for
yeah.
Waller.
6 games
Yeah.
he was out.
Look, I said this like even with like when we were talking about Rich Bisaccia, and I thought he should have retained his job. What that team went through last year, and for Derek Carr and him to get that team to the playoffs and damn near beat the Bengals, it was impressive. It really was. They are legitimately not even being talked about in the AFC West, and it's wild.
Look, the best
Well,
wide
we'll see.
receiver
We'll see.
left Aaron Rodgers, who was back-to-back MVPs, to go play with Derek Carr.
Mhm.
That's all I'm going to say. We'll leave it at that.
Fresno boys.
he definitely thinks he's something. That's for sure.
Absolutely.
Well, he
should.
went
I
from
mean, it
Hall
is
of
his
Fame
best
to
friend.
he went from Hall of Famer to Hall of Famer.
I saw
Yeah, I heard that
Yeah.
before.
But you know what's funny? If Derek Carr fucks around and wins the Super Bowl this year,
Ah.
everybody's going to be saying, "Oh,
Too
is Derek
soon.
Carr a fucking Hall of Fame quarterback?
No,
Why
no,
not?
Pauls
You
will
can,
never say
Yeah,
you
that.
can
it's
make the
too
case.
soon.
He made a fucking. He won a Super Bowl. You
Yeah.
can make the case.
No, you
Too
can't.
soon,
Why
but it
can't
could be
you?
Because he
Nick,
doesn't have
it
the
could
stats.
be
That's
it could be the start of something for him though. It could be the start
It could
of
be.
that, but he's
Sure.
far from it right now. Now, my underrated team, guys, and I actually think you might know where I'm going with this. The Denver Broncos. Okay. The Denver Broncos. I actually not only think they're underrated, I think this team has legit Super Bowl potential if they, well, I think they're going to be a top 5 offense. I think there's a really good chance they're going to be a top 5 offense.
That's bold. I like
I
it.
think there's a good chance. I can guarantee
And
they'll
who
be
did
top
they just
10.
lose? Didn't they just lose Tim
Tim
Patrick?
Patrick. Yes, that's a
They
big
lost
loss.
Tim Patrick,
Major loss.
but here's the thing. They still have Cortland Sutton, who was not utilized enough last year. He just got paid, by the way. He got paid a lot. They have plans for this kid. All right. Maybe he's the next DK Metcalf or Russell Wilson. I don't know.
Yeah.
Then you got Jerry Jeudy on the other side, who hopefully he stays healthy himself. I mean, these guys all get hurt.
He's only
but
got 3 touchdowns.
I know.
Yeah.
But
But
this
also
is look at his quarterbacks.
I know.
Russell Wilson
Fair.
loves throwing to the wide receivers in the red zone
And his fantasy upside has gone up with Tim Patrick going.
tremendously. And KJ Hamler's a burner. I hope they don't go out and get Jalen Reagor.
I love Jalen.
I hope
I
not.
love.
But KJ Hamler, I always liked him. But again, he was there too. Albert O at tight end. They keep talking about him like he's a freak. They also got a rookie over there they like a lot.
They talk,
But
about me, they talk about me in the same way, bro. The same breath. They talk about Alvaro. I'm a freak too, motherfucker.
And then this is the best offensive line that Russell Wilson has ever played for. I cannot even believe I'm saying that. This is the best offensive line that he's ever played with. That same coordinator you're talking about in Green Bay, Nathaniel Hackett,
Nathaniel.
head coach of the Broncos. And what did he do with Aaron Rodgers the last 2 years? Back-to-back MVP. No big deal. Russell Wilson, 2 years ago when they actually were throwing the football, was putting up MVP numbers. They never opened the offense up enough for Russell Wilson in Seattle. Russell
Very odd
Wilson, I
behavior.
think, is going to have a massive year, like possible MVP kind of year. I'm really high on this offense, if you can't tell.
I can tell.
I think this offense is loaded, and the defense is the part where this was their strength last year. The defense was their strength. We said this all year long. They were a quarterback away. They had Teddy Bridgewater. They had Teddy Bridgewater and won 7 games.
Teddy gloves, dude. Any covers.
Teddy
Gloves.
He
Yeah.
covers a lot of spreads.
7 games. They only gave up 322 points last year.
You're saying the Broncos have a better O-line than the Seahawks, right?
Oh, yeah.
But I think
His whole length of his career.
But I think Russell Wilson is more successful when he's running around, as opposed to just being in the pocket making things happen. Kind of like almost like a street ball kind of thing. He's not going to be a big, rushing threat, but I think he's making a lot of plays outside of the pocket when he's moving around. I don't know.
Well, that is true, Peter, but here's the thing. This team, the way they're able to run the football, he is going to be extremely effective in play action.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, this is one of the best deep ball throws in the entire NFL. So I just think they're going to be very good. In fact, I actually think that offense might be slept on.
See,
but the defense was already a strength, so I'm not worried about the defense. You're getting Bradley Chubb back.
But I also think
You got Patrick Surtain on the back end.
I also think he's taking a step back in terms of wide receiver talent he's playing with.
Absolutely.
Is it
How much, though?
And he had Tyler Lockett.
How much of a drop off though? It's not. You can't.
I mean,
I don't think it's a gigantic one.
Is Cortland Sutton top 20 player right now? It's a top 20 NFL
I
wide
think we're going to
receiver?
have to see. I don't know because he showed signs he could be that guy. He just didn't stay on the field. He's got great ability, Cortland Sutton. By the way, he's a buy in fantasy.
48.
If you
wide receivers in fantasy last year.
They didn't even use him last year.
Yeah,
It was
right.
an embarrassment. But
Well,
they did. They did in a couple
Teddy
games.
Gloves.
Go ahead.
I can't get over this.
Teddy
Teddy
gloves.
gloves.
Teddy gloves.
Gov-
I actually think that this team can win the Super Bowl if things break right for them.
Ooh.
Like they're very talented. They're a very talented football team.
He's been on that since the start. So no shade because he's been the same way I've been on the Vikings. He's been on the Broncos.
Well, he
They
has,
were a
you've been on the
quarterback
Raiders.
away.
he has to, bro, because he said Russell Wilson was the third best player in the NFL.
That
He has to-
was last off season.
How about
Right.
this tight end?
Right.
Tight end. I think they downgraded at tight end, right?
Big Al.
Yeah.
Yeah, big
You
Al.
like him?
Alberto.
I mean, Mountain.
They like him. Do I like him? I don't know. They have this
I don't like
rookie that's
anybody's
a little
name I
more
can't
interesting.
pronounce.
But like Russell Wilson,
Facts.
think
If
about
I have to
this.
call you Albert O simply because that's not your nickname, but because I can't fucking pronounce your last name,
Russell
Yeah.
Wilson historically doesn't go to tight ends anyway. So how much should I even care?
Cap. Because who was that one?
How's a cap? What, you're going to talk about Gerald Everett for a sprinkle?
No. Who was the guy 2 years ago that set it on fire and then he tore his ACL?
Jacob Hollister?
No, Will Disley.
Will Disley.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he was popping off in Seattle.
I mean,
He
come
was
on.
going crazy
Yeah, he
a few
was,
years
bro.
ago. Jay
One
couldn't have
year. 1 year out of how many years in the league?
It was
This guy
crazy,
does
Cap.
not care about tight ends.
That's
You should
period.
care. I
You
think
need
you
your
should
tight
care.
end,
Though.
that's a
Yeah,
problem.
absolutely. It's a safety blanket. It is.
Did it really matter for him though? Like, this guy's been incredible his whole career.
But it might matter though. He's in a
I
different
mean,
conference.
Well,
It's in
yeah,
the
there
AFC.
you go.
It's
So
not
now
NFC.
he's got
AFC's
he's
loaded.
got 2 that might be able to play. I forget the kid's name. They got a rookie tight end that they like a lot. They have a rookie tight end they like a lot. And I'm sorry, the name is falling off my memory
Greg
right now.
Dulich,
Yeah,
Adam Beck.
yeah, Greg Dulich.
Dulich.
Come on, cuz they're sticks and seeds. We ain't talking
We
about
don't-
Greg Dulich up
How
here.
would we
Ain't
know
what
that?
we talking about, bro. We ain't
How
talking
would
about
you know
Greg
that?
Dulich up here like he's a
He was a
second
high
coming.
draft pick.
Yeah, we're not doing that
It's
here,
not a
bro.
household name.
We're not doing that. That's crazy. Greg Dulich? That's crazy, bro. We ain't talking about that. That's crazy. That's embarrassing.
Okay, am I gonna really talk about the tight end being the reason why the Denver Broncos and Russell
I'm
Wilson
just
won't
saying.
be good?
I'm just saying. No,
Come on.
but I'm saying that a tight end is an important position, bro.
They got
because
rid of
are
Noah
safety
Fant
valve.
for a reason, obviously. First of all, can't stay on the field. I like him, by the way.
Who's their
But
slot
also, that's
receiver?
blocking too. Blocking
good.
for your run game too.
Well, there
if
you
you're a
go.
tight
Noah
end.
Fant couldn't block for shit.
Right.
So there you go.
He could catch.
I'll
That.
say
That's
this.
an improvement.
I'll
catch.
say this.
If he stays on the field,
I'll say this. I think Denver probably has the best 1-2 punch in the league alongside Green Bay. I really like Javonte Williams. His upside
Top 10 back.
very high. And Melvin
Now-
Gordon last year performs. When he's on the field, he fucking performs. He finds the end zone. I just can't explain it. You know what I mean? Like even in fantasy, if you owned Melvin
number
Gordon
one.
and you owned Javonte Williams, you were successful. Period.
think
They put
about
up
this
points.
team. If they won 7 games with the team they had last year, that literally, hold on, I'm trying to bring this up for you. Okay. They scored literally
Javonte Williams, 18th.
335 points last year.
If Melvin Gordon didn't return, Javonte Williams would be a top 10
They were
back.
17 and 18. So you got 2 running backs in the top 18. Not bad.
Mhm.
And they didn't even really use Javonte Williams to the second half of the season. And he is a
Because
stud.
Melvin played
I think
well.
he's a top 10 back now. And Melvin Gordon, I thought he'd be starting somewhere this year. Looks like he might have chose to go back.
You know,
I mean, it works out for both of them. It may not work out for fantasy, but it works out for the Denver Broncos.
See, when we talk about Denver Broncos, we talk about Russell Wilson, but I like the move that they made with Randy Gregory.
Me too.
I really
It's major.
do.
And you
think
get Bradley Chubb back.
Yes, because pass rush is very major, especially in that division. You have to get after the quarterback.
They got corners too.
Yeah,
Patrick Surtain is locked down
He's a
already
stud.
in his second year. He's
He's
a
a stud.
shutdown corner.
Randy
literally.
Gregory is going to start the season on the PUP list.
Yeah.
is he?
Yes.
Okay,
Well,
but I think he still have an
shoulder injury.
impact.
Well,
when
we'll
Or,
he's
I'm
see.
back.
sorry. He's going to begin training camp.
Yeah, like
Okay.
we'll see because these guys get
He'll
thrown
come
on the
back.
pup list
He'll come back.
regularly in
Yeah,
training camp. But
I'm not worried about that.
it's still something. It's still something. So
It's experience.
Justin Simmons, one of the best safeties in the league. I mean, I'm just saying, they were very good defensively last year. They don't have a lot of household names either, by the way.
I love that term, dude.
I know,
I got
but like
and Russell Wilson's
322
talking his
points
shit
against
too,
last
bro.
year.
Russell Wilson's been putting like
Let's
motivational
ride.
shit.
Yeah, he started a whole movement.
Broncos, let's ride.
If I'm a teammate and I see that, I'm like, bro, I don't even want to play with you.
It's corny.
Yeah.
Let's ride. You want to ride me? What the fuck are you talking
Oh.
about? You know what I mean?
Pause.
What the hell are we talking about? For real. Let's ride. What do you mean? Let's ride. Like, come on, bro.
All right, family. We got two more. We're gonna have to shorten this up a little bit. Sleepers and bust teams. And you could just, I mean, you don't have to go deep into the explanation, Pauls, again. But sleeper and bust teams. Give me one of each.
I'm gonna say for a sleeper team, give me the Panthers.
Of course.
They
And
have
I
a,
literally wrote that down for you before the show.
they have a great offense.
Maybe.
They do. They have a great offense.
They'll be better.
Yeah, Sam Darnold was 3-0 with them. If CMC stays healthy, I mean, Baker Mayfield is worlds better than him. And that's really that. I do. I think they're a surprise team, them and the Lions. So that's where I'm at with them.
Chef.
Sleeper, your Philadelphia Eagles.
Okay.
They signed James
Oh.
Bradbury. He's on the opposite side of Darius Slay. Don't call me Darius, just Slay.
Yeah, just
Two of the best DBs in the game. They finished the season 6-2 last year. They had a great learning experience when they got their dicks kicked in against the Buccaneers. I think you can learn a lot when you get your ass kicked. Adding AJ Brown, huge. Now you got a wide receiver duo in Devontae Smith, and you got AJ Brown. Now on the defense, Josh Sweat, Derek Barnett, Hassan Reddick. We're all top 10 in pass rush win rate metric, whatever the fuck that is. I know it's important, but you got a bunch of guys that are really good at that, so your pass rush looks really good. You need improved play from Jalen Hurts, especially in accuracy and arm strength, but I love to see the Eagles win that division.
Yep. I love it. I absolutely love it.
And
I
also,
think-
would you guys say that they had a great draft? And I mean, historically, they not be that great. They got Nakobe Dean from Georgia. I mean, they had a great draft this season, right?
my thing with Nakobe Dean is everybody calls him a sleeper. So how did he fall for 3 rounds with no other team, with 31 other teams passing
A
up on
fake
him for that
injury.
long?
They were worried about that injury, which makes no sense.
I don't understand though. But the Eagles are the ones that had the right information about his injury, and 31 other teams didn't. There's a reason why they passed up on him. I don't understand the reason. It's just weary to me. But I like the pick.
Well, we could say the same thing about Justin Jefferson too.
Sure.
How he fell, right?
Sure, absolutely.
It's like maybe he didn't have the right information, whatever it is, but
3 rounds is pretty long enough to be
Sure.
like, what the fuck? Like, what am I
Sure.
missing here?
I know.
You know what I mean? That's my
Yeah.
only gripe with that. But anyway, my sleeper and surprise team is the New Orleans Saints. I'm not a big Jameis fan, but when you got weapons like Michael Thomas, Chris Olave, who's going to be a fucking stud this year, he's a rookie out of Ohio State. I really like his upside. I think he's got the best wide receiver ceiling in the class. And you also add Jarvis Landry and Honey Badger on defense for leadership. I really like the Saints team. If they can get good play out of Jameis, possibly the 30 touchdown Jameis, not the 30 interceptions, but if they can get him to throw the ball deep, and you also have Alvin Kamara controlling the clock, this team could be really scary. I'm not kidding with you. If they can get their defense back to where it was, this team is going to be a force to be reckoned with. I'm serious. I really like this.
I mean, he was winning games last year before he
That's
went
what
down.
I'm saying.
they got
mean, they're-
Jarvis Landry too.
Yes,
They're
that's I mentioned it.
absolutely loaded.
They're loaded
all the way
They are
around. Like,
fucking loaded, man.
so it's literally going to come down to the coach and the quarterback. It actually kind of feels like the Eagles.
Yeah, I agree.
It kind of feels the same.
Yeah. They're a sleeper team.
So we'll see. I have to say this, guys, because unfortunately, the Ravens are being slept on. I think they are the biggest sleeper in the NFL, and here's why. I mean, we already went through Lamar Jackson's record in the NFL, but last year, I already had said this earlier in the show. First seed through halfway through the season before he got hurt. And by the way, he got hurt in the pocket throwing the football. Okay. They were the most injured team last year. They literally had, by all accounts in the NFL, top 5 roster going into the season last year. The year before that, top 5 roster. You're getting J.K. Dobbins back. You're getting, what's his name? Jeez. Marcus Peters back. I mean, obviously the loss at wide receiver hurts a little bit, but you still got Mark Andrews, Rashad Bateman. They like him a lot. All right. I think that this team is very good. Like this is a team where I want to see how it breaks for them during the regular season. I think Lamar was showing growth as a passer last year. And I mean, we already know their ability to run the football. So they're going to lean on the run. They're going to play smash mouth defense. They have a phenomenal secondary. I mean, Marlon Humphrey, no one talks about. This is probably a top 5 to 10 corner. So, I mean, I think that the sky's the limit for this team. There are some variables there, like why they're not among the elite right now, and that being the question mark at wide receiver.
Injury bug hit them last year.
The injury bug
Very
was
hard.
insanity last year.
But let's look at the depth too. The depth, especially in the running back position. J.K. Dobbins, Gus Edwards. You got Mike Davis, the guy everybody picked up last season. Justice Hill. You got 4 running backs who you can plug in pretty much anywhere.
They learned their lesson.
And my favorite future was the over on their wins. I think it was at 9.5.
Yeah,
I took them. Give me 10
easy,
wins, 10 and 17.
easy. I guarantee
love
it.
that one.
And their offensive line. I mean, Ronnie Stanley was out last year. They draft Tyler Linderbaum at center, which was a phenomenal pick in the first round. Actually kind of surprised me at the time, but I mean, that is exactly what they needed. So this is one of the best offensive lines in football. Who else did they
defense
lose?
Too?
No one talks about Patrick Queen being among the best linebackers in the league. They had Justin Houston for the pass rush.
Calais Campbell,
Calais Campbell
in the NFL.
He might retire, I heard, but we'll see. Chuck Clark is one of the best safeties in the league. No one knows about him. He might actually be on the trade block, but that's a whole different story. They signed Marcus Williams out from the Saints. I mean, they're just loaded, and they have a ton of depth. Like, it seems like this team learned from last year. Then you get to draft Kyle Hamilton. Like, that was like a luxury pick for them.
And I know
Kyle Hamilton.
I know nobody really cares about it, but you have the best kicker in the NFL, Justin Tucker.
There you go.
I know. I mean, I know you say, "Oh, it's a fucking kicker," but when you got to go out and kick a 57-yard field goal,
the one
to
against
push
the
whatever,
Lions.
yeah,
That was like 64 yards.
yeah. I mean, that it comes in big when you're getting close games.
Look at Dallas. Look at the Dallas Cowboys.
Mhm.
Their special teams always blow.
Well, one thing that don't get talked about enough in the
Or the
NFL
Packers.
is the
Yeah.
field position battle.
Makes
And the
it
Ravens
costly.
are getting a touchback every single kickoff right there. And they can kick field goals from the furthest distance in the entire league. These are things that might matter in a close game. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Like, yeah, I do want to see how Rashad Bateman looks at wide receiver
I gotta
one.
be honest. This is how I feel about the Ravens offense this year. This is Philly Phil post this up.
Oh,
That's a picture of me
my.
sleeping on them. They are fucking hot garbage, and that's exactly how
Oh,
I'm
you're
gonna
sleeping
be.
on them?
That's exactly how I'm gonna be when I watch the Ravens offense. I'm gonna be fucking sleeping because they're gonna be so fucking boring and they're gonna be very vanilla. Seriously, they are.
Well, that kind of style tends to win, though.
Huh?
I only care about them winning.
I don't think they're gonna win. I just don't see it.
Well, we all had them as our first seed going. What we did our midseason predictions, and we had them going to the Super
Man,
Bowl. All three of us
agree.
did.
I agree.
You did too.
But they had Hollywood Brown. They don't have him anymore. Who do they have to replace
I hear
him?
you.
They
I
ain't
just
got
said that.
nothing. Rashad Bateman ain't going to cut it for me.
Well, we don't know that.
Tylan Wallace, who the fuck is that? And
I don't
who,
even know that name.
and Devin Duvernay, miss me with that shit, bro. That ain't gonna fucking cut it. That ain't
James Brosh doesn't do it for you.
Who?
James Brosh.
Come on, bro. This is what I'm talking about. If you gotta have elite playmakers in the NFL, you got to keep up scoring points.
Well, they still do have Mark Andrews. Like, that's the thing.
That's cool.
They
bro.
got Mark Andrews and Rashad Bateman can play.
That's awesome.
I don't know if he can be a
but-
number one though.
But their arch nemesis, the Bengals, have Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Joe Mixon, Joe Burrow, and they got who's their tight end? Who's on the one to the Jets? Who's their tight end? Probably somebody in middies. But
No,
they
I
got
forget
better
who they
weapons
picked up.
than them, and
I
they've
know.
been there before, more recently than the Ravens. At least they have Super Bowl experience. Lamar Jackson has none.
And they got,
That's my thing.
Joe Burrow's a better quarterback too. I'll give you that.
Ravens are also up 17-10 against the Titans. extending their streak. You guys know their streak for the preseason games?
Yes.
Like 20.
Yeah, 24 in a row, I think.
Yeah,
That's insane.
covering the spread. They're covering the spread right now. It's at 3.5.
Oh, yeah. That
Like
game's
the-
on tonight. I didn't even say it.
It's on right now, 17-10.
What's the
so
score of the Giants and the Pats?
I'll get you.
Oh, Joe Judge is going.
Oh,
against his
in the
former team.
meantime-
I like it. Yeah.
In the meantime, bus. And then we got to get out of here. Poor Sheffield. We're keeping them late.
Oh, I'm good, dude. This is fun.
Contrary,
That's why we get stuck here, man.
contrary to you guys, my bust is the Saints.
Wow.
Well, to him.
Yeah,
That's
no.
fine. Go ahead. I'll hear you out.
I'm not
He's
big
him.
on the Saints this year. I don't like Dennis Allen. When he was the coach of the Raiders, he went 4-12, 4-12. Then he went 0-4 and he got fired. Jameis Winston, I mean, look, he played okay last year. He played all right, but they just don't do it for me.
So my thing is this: you agree with me with the Raiders being a little bit slept on, but Josh Jacobs really failed as a head coach in Denver. But yet you feel the same thing about Dennis Allen. How come he can have another chance and succeed?
Who?
Dennis Allen.
And he's been a very good coordinator in New
And
Orleans.
when he stepped in Sean Payton's presence last year, he shut out Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Tom Brady.
How many points? did their
Brady's
offense
never.
score?
You don't
Shit.
shut
What
out
was
Tom
that?
Brady, bro. He shut out Tom Brady
But the difference is
in
now.
Tampa.
The difference is
great
now,
point.
though, is now when he shuts out Tom Brady, he also has to worry about the offense and oversee everything. I don't know if Dennis Allen can do that. Some people are just better coordinators than they are head coaches.
Fair enough. Fair
And
enough.
that's, but I
people
think the
learn from
same
their
thing about,
mistakes.
but I think people do get a second chance, but I also have echoed that same sentiment against Josh McDaniels. I just feel like with Josh McDaniels has a legitimate quarterback.
Sure.
You put Jimmy G on the Saints, and they're an NFC East contender to get to the Super Bowl.
I maybe because I really like their team.
I think Jameis is better. Sorry.
That's insane. You see,
I don't think Jameis is better than Jimmy
That's
G.
insane.
That's stupid to me
That's
because
insane.
Jameis
Well,
would
I
never
ain't
make the
stupid,
Super Bowl.
but that's all right. That's all right.
No, I'm not saying
No,
it's
go ahead.
stupid. I'm saying that's
The
I think
floor is
that's
yours.
stupid. I think that's dumb because Jameis would never sniff a Super Bowl. At least Jimmy G been there. And he was one throw away from actually beating Patrick Mahomes, who's
And
everybody.
that's a throw
claims
that
he's a
Jameis
god.
can make. That
No,
throw
it
that he
would've
missed.
It would have got intercepted.
Maybe.
Facts.
But he's either putting the ball in the money or he's getting picked off. I don't know. But I'm
he's
just saying,
never-
he
he's never
can
been
make
in
that
those
throw.
kind of games. So for me to say Jameis Winston is better than Jimmy G is ludicrous.
Yeah, but you already know how I feel. I feel
I
like
know
the
you hate
49ers have surrounded him very well.
So if Trey Lance
That's
doesn't,
a really
if Trey Lance doesn't make the Super Bowl this year,
well, bro. He's
they
not gonna.
stink.
Come on, he's not making a Super Bowl this year.
Well, why not? The team's ready. Jimmy G stinks. The
You say
team
he
is ready.
stinks. I already just told you. I
So
think
if you
that
put Jameis Winston on the 49ers this
See,
year,
you're twisting my words.
No.
You already know how I feel about Jimmy. I think that he should be going to the Browns to put them in playoff contention
If
because
Jameis
I think the
Winston-
ship doesn't sink when he goes over
If
there.
Jameis
I'm just saying
Winston-
he's not the type of passer that's going to elevate my team. He's going to keep the trains on the tracks.
If
And I've
Jameis
been on record saying this
If
forever.
Jameis Winston is on the 49ers last year, they make the NFC Championship game and a Super
Probably
Bowl.
not. Probably
so
not.
So he's not as good
I
as
just think
Jimmy
that
G.
I think that he can make better throws. But I mean, that's the
So
thing.
can
though.
Aaron Rodgers, but he can't win.
There you go.
So give me the winner, and you can have the guy that makes the pretty throws.
How about I take neither?
Who makes less mistakes?
I don't want either of them.
That's the key. That's major.
Well, Jameis
G
last year, though, the Jameis we saw last year is the one that you want to see this year because he
yes.
wasn't making mistakes last year. So that's the thing is like,
He was also throwing for
Can I
130
see-
yards a game.
well,
But this
that's
year he's got
typical
Michael
from Jimmy,
Thomas,
though.
He's got Jarvis Landry and he's got Olave. Olave is going to be a beast.
Like,
Look
I
out
do
for
like Olave.
I haven't like, unfortunately, yes, Jimmy has done more in his career so far, but I wonder though, we see what Jameis can do 1 year with good coaching. It may not be there this year, but I'm just saying, like we've seen, does this rub off on him again next year?
That's some
And
cat.
can he perform again last year?
That's some
The
cat.
way he did last year.
Didn't Jameis Winston go 30-30 with 8-8 with Bruce Arians?
Bruce Arians is very, very aggressive, though.
He
Look at the
is.
quarterbacks he's
He
had.
is. That's
Yeah.
true.
There's very few guys that could play in that offense.
Risk it, no
Kurt
biscuit.
Warner, Andrew Luck,
Risk it, no
Tom
biscuit.
Brady,
Yep,
Carson
absolutely.
Palmer. He had very good quarterbacks, but they were perfect fits, those guys. Jameis Winston, he proved not to be. 30
The
interceptions,
style-
30
He was
touchdowns,
30
though.
That's what I'm saying. He was 30
30
and 30.
touchdowns. So, like, you see some arm talent there. You see what this guy can do. Sean Payton cut down on the turnovers. I don't know what he's going to do this year with the Saints.
We'll
I'm
see.
just saying.
I'm just
look.
not high on him. That's just me.
Well,
I'm not
here's
high
the
on
thing.
either of
At
them
least
in particular.
they're obviously confident enough where they didn't have to seek out another quarterback.
And they paid him decent
And
money.
they paid him decent money.
So,
I don't know what to say on that.
like, that's the thing is, like, I just want to see some more. Okay, maybe I'm being a little unfair here. I'll give you that. But I would have, going into this season, I would have rather had Jameis Winston at quarterback. I think he opens up the offense a little bit more.
Yeah, to interceptions.
That's also true. But they do have a very good defense, though. So, I mean, is there a trade-off?
I think the Saints are being slept on. I'm surprised they're your bus team.
I don't, dude, Dennis Allen, man. I don't like Sean Payton was that offense. You lost Drew Brees, you lost Sean Payton. Like, he's been there since 2005.
I get it.
I mean, not for nothing. Outside of that one Super Bowl, has he really been that dude?
But how loyal was Sean Payton if he was talking to the Miami Dolphins?
You can say the same about Tom Brady.
True. But players don't got to be loyal like that.
Why do coaches?
These days, they don't. People bounce off teams to go get a big contract.
Yeah, I mean,
that's what I'm saying. Loyalty's out the window in these fucking days, bro. That's all I'm
fair.
saying. That's all I'm saying. You saw Devontae Adams leave from Green Bay for the
well, that's
Raiders,
because his fucking
and he got the money.
His quarterback keeps, I'm going to retire in a year or two.
Ain't no loyalty, bro. That's all I'm saying.
All right, Sheffield Shuffler. Bust.
This team is time has come. The Buccaneers.
Wow.
Listen, Brady.
Wow. He's in your house, brother.
Listen,
That's cool.
Tom Brady.
He put his feet up on your furniture.
Fuck, yo, couch.
Go ahead.
Tom Brady gone for a week dealing with personal issues. Totally fine. Brady's gone for a week. Questionable. Mike Evans, hamstring issue. Chris Godwin coming back from a huge injury. Russell Gage, leg injury. Gronk gone. Their cornerstone O-lineman, Ryan Jensen, done for at least multiple months with a knee injury. Tampa Bay ranked 26th in rushing yards per game last season. Can't run the ball. Ranked 15th in opponent yards per game. So middle of the pack, giving up yards. Even worse, 24th in opponent passing yards. So the teams are passing on him. Injury bug seems to be hitting them a little bit like I've seen the Ravens last season. Tom Brady is 45 years old, guys, okay? I know he's the GOAT, but Father Time is undefeated. The ball, there's going to be a drop-off. It's going to come, and I think it's this season. He's 45 years old, and I love Tom Brady. He's the best to ever do it. But I think the Buccaneers this season are going to absolutely fail. Wow. They can't run the ball.
What's a fail to you?
This is going to keep us here another half hour. Huh? Oh, they're not making the playoffs.
I don't know. Honestly, guys, Tom Brady is old and I love the guy, but listen, everybody's injured. Gronk is gone. The O-lineman, Ryan Jensen, your center, your cornerstone for your O-lineman is gone for at least a few months. Their defense, not that great. Teams are running all over them. They're 26 in rushing yards against them. 15th in opponent yards per game, 24th in passing yards. Dude, Father Time is undefeated, and I love Tom Brady. I'm with you. I'm not a Tom Brady hater. I love Tom Brady. I'm from the Midwest.
No, I'm not going against it.
Listen, Peter,
here's my rebuttal.
If you wanted to leave, that's out the window now, brother.
No, it's all good. It's all good. I appreciate the stats. I appreciate the knowledge.
But do you?
I have a rebuttal, though.
Sure.
Every report I have seen is Tom Brady's arm has gotten even better at age 45. This guy has no decline, cuz. He was in the MVP conversation at age 44. He ain't dropping off a bucket like that. Ain't no way. Max Kellerman predicted this 6 years ago, and he won 3 Super Bowls since.
Of course.
So I don't see the drop off. And
Godwin Max Kellerman's on ayahuasca.
Go ahead. That's cool. Mike Evans always had
I'm helping him.
Mike Evans always had hamstring issues. Ryan Jensen, okay, he's a center. I get it. It's an important piece. It's replaceable because Brady has dealt with worse in his career on the offensive front.
For sure.
He was throwing the ball to Kendall Tompkins.
The way to beat Tom Brady's with interior pressure, though.
He won a Super Bowl with Malcolm Mitchell. Do you know who Malcolm Mitchell is? He's not even in the league, cuz he hasn't been in the league in 5 years. He's been in the league for 2 years and won a Super Bowl.
If there is any way to attack Tom Brady, it is with interior pressure, and that center situation is big. And remember, by the way, remember where I stand. The Bucks are the best team in the NFC, I said. They are my second best team in the NFL right now.
But Tom Brady,
injury is big. That's a big injury.
But Tom Brady's release is also the fastest in the league. So good luck getting to him. He's very difficult to sack,
and he's going to have to do that.
And he's got weapons around him. Like I really like this team. I still think the Rams are better.
I think the Bucks are better.
I do think the Rams are better. I think the Bucks are slightly below them. But the Julio Jones thing, like now that I'm watching more videos of camp. Julio Jones looks legit, man. There's a lot of reports out there that he's from 2019 Falcons. Julio Jones.
Yeah, for 2 games.
He was fucking lethal. I'm just saying, if he's healthy, That's a major addition. So yeah, okay, I get it. Russell Gage got hurt. I don't know if it's severe injury. Chris Godwin coming off an injury. He's done it before, and he's performed well. Mike Evans always had hamstring issues. He's always performed well, always had 1,000 yards. So like I see where you're coming from, but like it's Tom Brady. The leadership is there, and they've all been there before. The defense has leaders. I just don't see them dropping off like that.
So what I'm saying is the Buccaneers' expectations are up here.
Yes.
Right? And I
You're
think
saying bust.
I think where they're going to finish is going to be down here. You know, I'm not saying
losing in divisional round.
Possibly, yeah. I just think father time, injuries, the fact that they can't run the ball, I think is a big issue. I just think their expectations and their standard is very high, and I just don't think they're going to meet that this season. And I know Tom, but would you agree that there's got to be a point where that play falls off?
I will say this. Tom Brady would never agree to come back to play football if he knew he couldn't physically do it.
Why is he gone for a week? It's a personal issue.
Personal issue. Yeah.
What is the personal issue?
Maybe family, somebody, health concerns with somebody in the family. I don't know. That's my understanding of it. I don't think it had anything to do with him per se, but I think it has something to do with his family.
Okay. I think something has to be going on because he retired, right?
Mm-hmm.
Gone. I'm done. Not playing anymore. What happened 3 weeks later? He's playing with the kids and just like, I got to get the fuck out of here. Giselle's
I
doing
feel
this.
all
And
that.
You know what I mean? It's like, I got to go back.
I
I got to still play. I got to keep doing this. So whatever's going on with that, regardless, I just think they're not going to meet the expectations that everyone thinks for them. And I know they got, who was the other tight end that they just got?
Kyle Rudolph,
right? To kind of replace Gronk. And they got a Cam Brate, who's from Naperville, where I'm from. Shout out Naperville High Schools.
I like Cam Brate.
But if I'm going to pick a team, I'm going to say they're not meeting expectations this year.
And the expectations is Super Bowl or bust.
Super high. Yeah.
Super Bowl or bust. So you're saying they're not making the Super Bowl.
Correct.
That's fair. That's cool. He didn't say they're missing the playoffs.
He said bust.
That's fine.
That's the definition.
That's fine. That's
because right now, they look like a Super Bowl team. So if they don't get there,
I think the leadership is still there. I think Brady's it's Brady. Like I have no evidence of ever counting out Tom Brady. I've seen him take teams that shouldn't even sniff the playoffs and they won the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
So I can never count him out.
I see Tom Brady as one blindside hit away from ending his career.
But I see that for every quarterback too.
I see it more prevalent with a 45-year-old man than I do with a young 26-year-old mobile quarterback.
Maybe, but if I'm going off sports science, the pliability would lead me to believe he'll bounce back.
He does have a
he
great
said viability.
Yes, that's what he preaches.
I
That's
know.
exactly what he talks about.
I know.
Bro. That's his regime.
It works for him.
avocado toast.
Avocado ice cream.
I can
Eat
Dunkin'
that shit. That's
Donuts.
fucking crazy, bro.
Dunkin' Donuts avocado toast bangs.
Oh, facts, bro.
Apparently, he does like an avocado protein shake too, but that's a whole different story, guys. I mean, we could pot all night, but theories. Give me a quick bust, and I'm just gonna throw out. Sorry, pause.
Thank you.
You know, he's a freak.
Well, thanks clarifying.
Freak.
Don't tell another man. Give you
Who's
a
your
quick
bust?
Yeah,
And let's
right?
you and I will keep ours
That's
short.
uncomfortable.
I'm gonna say this. Maybe you'll agree with me. Titans and Patriots. And I don't understand their win totals.
I have the Dallas Cowboys for
Oh, yeah.
every single reason that we mentioned earlier on the show. And I'm
For
not gonna,
bust,
yeah.
you're saying?
yes.
Okay, cool.
Like
Yeah.
bust to win division because Vegas is having them win division. I don't see that.
Yeah, exactly.
So to me, they're a
And
bust.
10.5 is a laugher. I mean,
I think it's
that's
ridiculous.
the
I think it's
easiest
too
bet
high.
that I will make this offseason is under 10.5.
Absolutely.
Patriots though, 8.5 there. I'm not sure how they get there. I did not like their offseason.
They
And
will
the
not win
Titans,
7.
the Titans were the number 1 seed in the AFC last year. They're at a 9.5 win total. Huh?
I'll say this.
You know the
I'll
AFC,
say every year
the AFC is.
But I'll say this about the
I'm just
Titans,
saying.
though.
I'm just
The
saying.
Titans can't really be a bust because their expectations aren't really that high.
I don't know, bro. Like this tells me different right here. 9.5.
I feel like they're the team that always
they're the
is
same
predicted
with
to
the
be bad,
Colts.
and they
Right.
somehow win.
9.5
But
each.
But getting rid of AJ
I like
Brown,
the Colts better. I'll go with
Getting-
them over.
But getting rid of AJ Brown and replacing him with Treylon Burks, that's to me, it doesn't even make any sense. So for me, the expectations dip down a bit for them. So I don't think people actually have high expectations for the Tennessee Titans this year.
I don't know, bro. But
In
we're
my
looking
opinion.
at two
I don't
playoff
have any
teams.
expectations.
Two playoff teams that have playoff team type of win totals right there. I just don't see it.
Well,
That's 2 more right there. I'm taking the
98
under.
is close, but no cigar.
I don't know if they could get there either, bro.
Especially in the AFC. The AFC's loaded, bro.
I know.
I think 11
that's why.
wins.
How the hell they get 9 wins? And I'm not even going to open their schedule because I'm telling you right now, that's going to be tough.
Like realistically, there's going to be a team possibly this year that has 11 wins and goes 11-6 and misses the playoffs.
Mhm.
It could very well happen.
It's
bro.
probably going to happen.
I had your Raiders. That would be my team right there. And like, are the Patriots and Titans even on that level for me? Hell fucking no. I like the Raiders a lot better right now.
Sure, absolutely.
I like the
think what they
style
did-
that they play, the Patriots and Titans, but it's just they did not do enough, and their offenses are probably going to be mediocre.
I think the Patriots might have one of the worst offenses in the league. I don't
Matt Patricia's the offensive
I
coordinator.
don't believe what they did
So the
for
worst.
Mac Jones because you didn't help Mac Jones out. He made the playoffs last year. You didn't get him a wide receiver when wide receivers were flying off the board in free agency. That was your perfect opportunity, man.
Mhm.
Go get the kid some talent. Yeah, but you got what's his name? Fucking Devontae Parker. Bro, he plays 3 games a year, dude. Like he can't stay healthy. He's not consistent enough. He's not that guy to take the top off the defense. I was looking for them to upgrade at the position. They didn't do so. And they don't even have an offensive coordinator.
Mhm.
You have a young quarterback who made the playoffs and you don't have an offensive coordinator. Can somebody please explain to me what the fuck is going on with that?
Tennessee Titans ranked 25th in passing yards per game. So we know Derrick Henry. I mean, he's
You're asking a lot out of
workhorse.
them.
He's a workhorse for sure, but he went down last season, right? So he goes down this season, and you rank 25th in passing. What are we doing?
and you
after
lost
that?
AJ Brown.
And you lost AJ Brown. So
Unbelievable, man.
And your
they're
new
back
guy
to
has
quarterback.
asthma.
hey, no hate on no hating on asthma.
Not laughing at asthma, but I'm just saying that
Right?
doesn't bode well
Yeah,
for a wide
yeah.
receiver that needs to be a burner.
And their tight end is diabetic.
yeah. Yeah, right.
Well, guys, you hear that sound, you know what that means. We got to get the hell out of here. We're keeping this poor man here late. But we had so much fun tonight with Mr. Sheffield Shuffler himself, Peter Vitale. Thank you for joining
Oh, man.
us. Give a round of applause.
Appreciate it, bro. Appreciate it, man.
Fucking-
Appreciate it.
He
Love.
outstatted the stat guy. I didn't even bring stats to this show.
My man was
Next
fucking
time,
cooking
look,
over here.
thanks for giving me a break, bro. Thanks for giving me a break.
Tap those cheeks.
Oh my God.
Balls.
For your sake, I hope the Bears don't trade Roquan Smith. Like that's asinine.
It's gonna happen.
Top 5 linebacker.
Unfortunately.
Top 5.
Roquan.
Real quick on
Go
that.
ahead. Go
So
ahead.
they don't want to pay $20 million to a linebacker,
That is
right?
a lot.
Okay, so they don't want to do that. So what are you gonna do then?
You better get a
So
second round pick.
you better spend that money somewhere else. Say, oh well, we don't want to pay $20 million for a linebacker. Fine, that's fine. Even though he finished top 5 in solo tackles and whatever else. I had the stats up here earlier, but he's a great linebacker. So you don't want to spend it. So go spend that somewhere else. And if you don't do it, all you're telling me is you're being cheap and you don't want to do fucking shit. So that bothers me. It's like, all right, we don't want to spend it on a linebacker, but go and spend it somewhere else. That's all I'm saying.
Facts,
Scream.
man.
Welcome to the family, says Godfarv. Welcome to the family. You are welcome back here anytime,
Absolutely, bro.
Peter.
Absolutely. Man.
You
That
are
was
the
fun.
fucking man. Thank you for joining us. And guys, go out and follow at Sheffield Shuffler on Instagram and at Sheffield Shuff on Twitter. All right. You're going to want to watch his shows, Lost in the Shuffle, Daily Dingers. Anything else you got to add? I know
Yeah.
you got a football show too.
Yeah, it's on Thursdays, so we're kind of working on that with Kyle and stuff like that. But if you
Yeah.
like baseball betting stuff, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I do that 11 o'clock. We do a lot of betting stuff, a lot of very statistical driven things. We do picks, and I'm not a capper, but I'm a regular dude, and I'm like, hey, this is what I got for the day. So if you're interested in that and statistics on why I want to do it, Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Hey, you hit on the Phillies last night.
I follow his
I was
TikTok
like,
too.
man.
He's fucking hilarious.
Oh,
and his
yeah,
Instagram
man.
and all of his socials. He's fucking hilarious.
His shit was
He
just
puts out some
featured on the
great
NFL
content.
yesterday,
Great content,
2
funny,
days ago.
knowledgeable. This guy's legit, man. I appreciate you coming on the show.
Yeah, so this is
Thank you guys for
literally
having me.
the longest show we've had since
Oh, boy.
episode like 5, 6, maybe.
It's all right. Special edition.
We had to, man. Thank you, Peter. And that episode 98 featuring the Sheffield Shuffler was brought to you by Prize Picks, your home for daily fantasy sports. New players are signed up today using our promo code ICONIC. Receive 100% instant deposit match up to $100. Prize Picks, daily fantasy made easy. Also, we were live tonight at the Props Network at propshq.com. Don't forget to go over there and subscribe to our show. You don't want to miss out on our football preview starting next Tuesday. That's right. Next show is Tuesday, 8 p.m. If you missed it, we announced on this Tuesday that our show is now Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8 p.m. And you will surely see that out on our social. Last but not least, merch. Okay. Fantastic Fabric. black and gray t-shirts, short and long, hoodies, tanks. We have it here for you. We just sold out of our latest order. So we're going to be making another bulk order. Again, DM us for details on pricing, and we will get that over to you. Thank you so much, everybody. Nick Theories, take it away.
Thank you guys for hanging out with us. We appreciate all the love, support, and the comments. It was an amazing show. Shout out to Sheffield Shuffler for coming on P&I. He's more than welcome to come here anytime. Everybody go follow his socials and everything else and all of his podcasts. Thank you again for coming on.
Of course.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is the greatest setup, dude. Just so you guys know.
Oh, we
You
appreciate
guys do this
that,
whole
man.
setup.
Yeah.
You got cameras, lights. I mean, this backdrop. I mean, you guys do it right here.
It's a real
Appreciate it,
studio, man.
It is.
It's crazy.
Click, click. Yeah, that sounds good. I like that. You guys are a great studio. You guys do a great job. Thank you for having me. This is awesome.
Absolutely, bro. You're
Appreciate
welcome
it,
anytime, my man. But if you guys haven't done so already, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell on YouTube. We are also available on propshq.com, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeart, Megaphone, Stitcher,
And all that other shit.
Also, follow us on all of our socials, such as Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And we will see you guys next time at P&I, baby.
Wow. That was great.
That was a fucking pod.
Dude.